You are watching the Vodka stream.
Boop! What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Vodka stream. We made it through another week. How we doing? Hopefully we're doing good. Yes. Okay. All right. Looks like James Gunn just posted something right now. It's Peacemaker stuff. Just saw that. Somebody sent it to me. I was like, oh, huh? What did he post? Huh? It's Peacemaker, which I enjoyed. I will say. I am looking forward to season 2. I was actually pleasantly surprised because I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I really didn't. Let me move over my. All right. There you go. More centered. All right. But, I did post that. So happy Friday, everybody. All right. Let's get started. We're going to be talking some Batman tonight. We're going to be talking about another project, another motion comic project from Aaron Bailey, which, he's been on the Vodka stream numerous times. Love talking to the guy, and he's got a new project, so we're going to be discussing that a little bit tonight and see what that is all about. Got some bourbon today, doing the bourbon today, so it's a bourbon stream tonight, a little bullet bourbon, so cheers, guys. Happy Friday. So good. All right, who we got out there? What's going on, Nate? Good to see you. All right, let's see. Make sure that's good. All right, let's see. Happy Friday. I recently started a podcast. I was wondering if you have any advice. How should I approach and reach people? Just keep on going. Just keep on. The only advice I give everybody is just, hey, keep on working on it. Trial and error. Not everything's... Some things are not going to feel right, and when they don't, change it up, and then just keep on trucking, man. Sometimes people luck out, and it just hits big time, and then sometimes it just takes a little bit. Find your voice. Ryan, what is up? We got Mama Film Junkie here. Good to see you. All right. We got Mr. Fear Jason here. What's up, buddy? All right. MFer right here. Okay. Let's see who else we got. We got Chuck. What's going on, Chuck? Hope all is well. Did you see Snoop will open his own Funko shop in Inglewood? What? I didn't see that. I did not see that. That is interesting. Okay, I'll have to look into that. It's kind of funny too because, I had actually because I'm like still logged into my Indeed. Just because you never know. You never know. Hey, maybe I'll get a different job. I actually got a notification of Funko hiring somewhere for something like a creative project coordinator or something like that. Haven't really looked into it, but I should, because that would be kind of interesting. But then again, I like working from home. So what's going on, Draga? Good to see you. All right. People filing in here. Hopefully you guys had a good Friday, good week. This week was pretty crazy. Well, again, because work, right? Freaking work. But hey, that's just the way it is. Oh yeah, it's Friday the 13th, by the way. Happy Friday the 13th. Hopefully luck has been at least good for you. Watch some Friday the 13th. It's funny, I was having a discussion with a little small conversation with Jason, rap nerd. He's been on here. Jason, he of course loves horror movies. I invited him on tonight just to see if he wanted to come on, because it's Friday the 13th and everything like that. And it was funny because we had like a little small discussion about Friday the 13th and the movies. And obviously, all of us would probably think that the first Friday the 13th is the best of the franchise. No Jason. I was like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, there's no Jason Voorhees. I mean, there's mention of him, sure, but there's no Jason Voorhees because obviously, spoiler alert, you want to get spoiled after what, 40 years? It's his mom doing the whole thing, but it's just kind of crazy how that is, how, many would consider that, even though, some people might think that some of the other Friday the 13th movies are their favorites. I think Jason Goes to Hell is kind of You know, it was like one of those movies that the poster freaked me out when I was younger. And then, you know, you just watch it. It's cheesy. It's whatever. It's all, you know, but it's just kind of funny how that, like, when you think about it, you know, the first Friday the 13th did not have Jason Voorhees in it. Well, had mention of him, but it didn't have who we know as Jason Voorhees right now with not the ski mask, but the hockey mask. And, you know, and obviously they did a remake of it, which was, it's fine. But, you know, God knows who knows what's going to be. I forgot. I know they're doing probably something else with that damn franchise. They're never going to stop. They're never going to stop. And then I also mentioned that Freddy versus Jason was awesome. I don't care what anybody says. We got Miss Nighthawk here. Good to see you. What's going on, Daniel? Yeah, happy Jason Voorhees Day. What is going on, Game City Savior? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll get a good laugh with Jason X. Yeah. Jason being frozen and then woken up on a spaceship way, way, way into the future. And then he gets a brand new freaking mask. Yeah. Who knows what they were thinking about that? But hey, you know, it's fun. What's going on, Azteca? Happy Friday 13th. What's going on, Mr. William Powell? Saw you had a visitor today. That's pretty cool. Somebody within the community. So cheers to that. And cheers to Friday the 13th. Good luck for everybody, right? All right, let's bring in Aaron right now and talk some Night of the Batman, which I'm very curious about. When I saw he was posting about it, I went, okay, yeah, definitely want to talk about this and see what's going on. Again, this is what I love. This is what I love, and what I keep on emphasizing when it comes to the community. It's like, as much as there could be a discourse, I just love the fact that we have talented people that are continuing to do stories based off this universe, you know, and it's just absolutely fantastic. So, anyways, what's going on, sir?
How's it going, man?
It's going good, man.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Everything's going good. I'm glad to be on the Friday the 13th show. That's a cool
right.
One.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I know. The whole day I didn't even like think about that it was Friday the 13th. I was just like consumed with work, and then it wasn't until I was just seeing people's obviously posts and everything, and I went, oh yeah, it is Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Apparently we have 2 this year.
Really? That's
yeah.
great.
I was listening to the morning show I listen to all the time, and they said, yeah, this is the first of 2 of this year. So, and man, I tell you what, we're already like, what is it, January 13th, and just the people that have passed away.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing, man.
Dude,
it's already bumming me out. I'm really like, dude, let's not start it like this.
I know. May Lisa Marie Presley rest in peace. Robbie Knievel,
yes,
Evil Knievel.
I found out about that today, and I was like, dude.
It's like, geez, man.
Wasn't he also like? Didn't he also do the same thing as his dad with the?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought he.
Oh yeah, he pushed it. He pushed it even further than his dad. He had some pretty bad spills too, but I mean, like, yeah. He did a lot. I remember watching, you know, back in the 90s. I remember watching some of. I think he did the infamous. I don't know if it was back in the 90s or early 2000s. I forgot when it was, but he did his dad's infamous like Caesar's Palace jump over the fountain.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think he did it further, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to watch his shenanigans, but yeah, he passed away. So
yeah,
cheers to them.
Yeah,
I mean,
cheers.
It's crazy because Lisa Marie was just at the Golden Globes, obviously, because Elvis was nominated, and she looked perfectly fine. And then just
4 days ago,
later,
I mean, she took a photo with Austin Butler, and then that happens. God
damn. Tell you, 2023.
I know. By the way, I'm jealous because I usually wear my glasses at my desk, and the reflection is terrible in these, and you have somehow avoided the reflection in the glasses.
I think I don't know. Maybe it's I got a little bit. I got a little bit, but
mine is so bad.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, it's a little bit. Yep. Yeah,
it's bad.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe it's the lenses that I use, but yeah, I mean, I'm mainly just I have the camera right here and the screen right here.
Well, and yours are actually like vision glasses, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are blue light. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say the blue blockers. I need to get some of those.
These are great, man. As much time as I work on my computer, it's a lifesaver.
I know. I'm always on. I'm either daytime work over there. or over here.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about like, man, maybe the next time when I get an upgrade, which I'm overdue, to like, well, I always say like, geez, do I have to do it every year? Come on.
Yeah.
I think they're just like, yeah, we want more of your money,
I'm supposed to, but I don't. So
yeah, I know. I don't either. I usually wait every like 3 to
Yeah.
4 years,
Yep.
and then I'll be like, yeah, maybe it's time. So I think they actually, I don't know if they do that. I'm pretty sure they do that with obviously vision glasses where you could actually have the blue blocker. But then again, I want it all the time. I don't know.
They've got I'm supposed to wear regular glasses, but I don't. But they have these that they're reading glasses also. So they help me with text and stuff.
Okay, so like bifocal, or are you just one?
It's the whole thing. Yeah,
Okay.
It's just yeah. I'm supposed to wear glasses that I'm super farsighted, but or nearsighted. That's the other.
Yes,
it's backwards.
That's the one. Yeah, I know. It's always confusing.
Yeah.
It's always confusing when I'm obviously nearsighted. I've always been good on reading stuff. My mom, she needs reading glasses. My dad was the opposite, and me and my brother got our dad's eyes because we were fine up close. I could be perfectly fine, but yeah, can't see shiza when it comes to far.
When I'm driving and I see it's like the worst. I'm like, what is it? What exit is this? What is
dude?
This?
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to, because now, like, if I've even I can't drive at night. There's one time where I forgot because I have prescription sunglasses. There's one time where I forgot my regular glasses and it was dark. And I went, oh shit, I forgot my regular glasses. So I had to drive home with my prescription sunglasses at night.
Oh my God. Dude.
Because it was, but at the same time, it was better than not driving with any glasses at all.
Yeah, the alternative.
Even though it was dark, I could still see clearly.
Well,
because
and you're there in that LA traffic, man.
Oh,
you're
dude.
Like when I came out there, the first thing I noticed was I was like, this is the worst traffic I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is terrible. Yeah. I can't imagine.
It's bad over here. It's bad. Yeah, but luckily I'm outside. I'm very outside of LA, so
see, that's good.
Bad. It's not too bad. But yeah, I would just I remember I had to drive home with those. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah,
and it was. It definitely was. But yeah, I gotta get a pair of those. Get some. Maybe I could just put them over my actual glasses.
Well, I was gonna say they make inserts for regular glasses that you can put over top of them. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I got to do because. Yeah, I'm realizing that I'm staring at screens way too much.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I try to ignore my phone as much as possible, I'm like, yeah, but I still have 4 screens because my work station has 2 screens, and then I have my laptop and my regular. So I'm like, damn, and then I'll have my TV on with a podcast or something like that. It's just screens everywhere. So
and I don't know if you're like me, but I'll be on my computer working and I'll be like, I need to take a break, and then I'll go and I'll look at a different screen to take a break from my computer screen.
Pretty much, yes. I'll be doing all this and and then I'll be like, all right, let me go lay down for a little bit. And then what do I do when I lay down? I pull up my phone and I'm like, looking. I'm like, it's just
I do the same thing,
dude. And then and it's funny too because a lot of us are like, no, you got to ignore your phone. But then we'll watch TV. It's like that's just a bigger screen.
Yeah. They're like, I'm not on my phone all the time, and then they'll binge like an entire season of a show, and I'm like, it's the same thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It pretty much is. No, I try in the morning not to look at my phone when I first wake up. And I know like I've heard like a good thing to do is like to go outside or at least get some sunlight on your face and in your eyeballs because that helps you wake up.
Yeah.
It's good for your eyes and everything. But sometimes I wake up before the sun comes up.
So you're like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I see a hint of sunlight. Is that going to help me? I don't know if that's
well. I remember I got advice from somebody one time, and they were like, hide your phone, like so don't put your phone near where you're sleeping at. And I was like, so how am I going to wake myself up? And they're like, it like an alarm clock. And I was like, I haven't thought about buying an alarm clock since like 2007.
Right.
Like I can't imagine having like a lone alarm clock beside my bed. So
I haven't had one in years. I just use my phone. But what's great though is like my job, I don't have a set start time, which is great.
Okay. Yeah.
And sometimes like most of the time, unless it's like a late night where I can't get some sleep or something like that. Insomnia is just like rearing that ugly head of theirs or whatever. Then I'll set an alarm because I'm like, all right, I should get up at this time because Jesus Christ. But normally if I know I'm going to get to bed at a good time, I won't even set my alarm, which is great. And I just have that internal body clock that just wakes me up at the time that I usually need to wake up, which is better than getting startled.
I do the same thing now with switching from a normal like 9 to 5 to what I do now. It's been crazy. And then with this project and stuff, it's made everything insane. So
good segue right into it, buddy. Yes, I'm very curious. Been seeing some of the obviously you're posting things about it, but Night of the Batman. Let's talk about this, man. I mean, this is right up my alley, this.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's start from the beginning. So obviously this is taking place, or this is in the Snyderverse, which of course is very much always in the discussion.
Oh yeah, of course.
When it comes to things, and obviously we had Project Justice League, which was fantastic.
Yes.
Good motion comic, and then I love the fact when people decide to just, hey, let's continue on and let's spin off some stuff. Everybody, people like it in the fandom. Zach appreciates it. It's all great. So where did this idea come from?
Well, this so basically in 2017, I was thinking about after I saw 2017 Justice League, I was one of those people, and I know some of us are guilty. I watched it and I was like, that wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, dude. I still get that thrown at me by some of the chuckleheads.
Yeah, I was naive, and I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. And I was like, maybe this was what Zach wanted, because at the time, we weren't all like we are now, where we're in tune with everything Zach says.
Exactly.
In 2017, we were just fans, and we didn't pick apart everything. So it was like, maybe this is what he wanted, and then slowly I became part of the release the Snyder Cut thing, and learned about it and all that. And I kind of had the idea back then. I was like, man, I kind of wish that we had a Ben Affleck Batman movie in between Justice League, or in between BVS and Justice League. And I was kind of thinking about it back then. So this idea that I have is actually an idea that started back then, before we even before any of the Zack Snyder Justice League stuff started. So when people were like, is this based on Ben's canceled script? I was like, no, actually this was I've had this idea before that was even revealed. With his Batman, but I have taken elements from it now and added it into.
You have to.
I liked some of the ideas, so I was like,
of course.
But my idea with it is that my story that I'm telling can coexist with Ben's idea for his
It could be another story within that story.
Yeah, I'm not replacing it, but it's there's elements of that in there. Yeah.
No, what are you talking about? How dare you, sir? You can't do this.
No, I can't. No.
Yeah. How dare you? We got Draga right here said he would love to voice Robin. There you go.
Nice, man.
Voice talent. Hey, audition.
And I've told a few people, the voice thing, I'm not quite to that stage yet.
Yeah.
What kind of happened with this is I came up with the idea, and I was like, you know what? This is going to be mostly for me. I'm probably not going to get a lot of traction. I just want to do this because it's something that I want to do. And so I made the graphic, and I finally decided I would post about it. And then I saw the traction that it got, and I was like, oh crap. I was like, this is a big thing now. So I've kind of went back a little bit, and I'm refining some stuff, and based on what my original idea was.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to pull up the first poster. I pulled up some of the other posters, but yeah, if you have that, I was like, dang, because I was going through, and I was like, damn it, I forgot to pull up the very first.
Oh, the announcement thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I got it right here.
Yeah, I did that actually a long time ago. I've had that sitting on the computer for months. And
so I mean, essentially, which one was? Let's see. The first
it's
one.
It's the one pinned on my page.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, that was the first one. I remember you teasing it, and then this one was it right here.
Yeah, that was the initial one. Yeah,
which was cool. So, just design wise, you were just like, oh well. First off, Night of the Batman title. How'd you come up with that?
funny thing about that is that I never had a title for this because it was a bunch of stuff that I had written down and like ideas, and I was like, I made a poster like a month or two ago, and it was a poster for Ben's Batman movie, and I was like, oh, you know what, Night of the Bat, because I was thinking about Werewolf by Night and how I love that title, and I was like, oh, that'd be a cool title to put on this poster I'm doing. So I put it on the Ben Affleck Batman movie poster that I did with Deathstroke and stuff. And then I was thinking about it like a day or two later, and I was like, man, Night of the Batman really describes the story that I'm writing. I'm going to use that for what I'm doing. So I ended up putting it on there, and I was like, it sounds cool. I like it. So that's how that I feel like there should be a cooler story with it, but like that's literally just.
No, that's a pretty
cool. That sounds cool.
I mean, no, that is. I mean, that's. I mean, when you find inspiration with other, creative stuff, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But then, of course, you did some other posters too. I really like of course, the Batman the animated poster style that you did, which is this one right here, which I thought was like, I was like, oh, that's cool. Doing inspiration.
I was watching the animated series, and I literally jumped on Photoshop because I was like, I've got to do this. I rendered, and then I went on Photoshop, and because I was watching it actually for research, because I was talking on the Four Nerds show the other day, and I did tell him that the villain of my thing is Scarecrow.
Nice.
I wanted to see I want to kind of explore what that version, the DCEU, the Snyderverse version of Scarecrow would be like, and under the assumption that Ben's Batman had already met him by the time we see him in Justice League,
of course.
And I like the psychological aspect of it, and that was something from the animated series that I loved was the introduction of Scarecrow when he's robbing the bank. I think it was a bank. You would know better than me because you're like the.
I think it was.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, there's some kind of fault involved. Yeah,
and he gives him the visions of his father, and how he's disappointed in him and stuff. And I was like, what if I took that idea like that, but made it about Robin instead of his father?
Yeah,
and made it about Robin and his the disappointment and the failure he feels with Joker and how that all happened. And I'm still trying to figure out I want it to fit in perfectly with Zach's ideas that he had. And so I'm trying to figure out like the full story of what exactly happened with Joker. And I know he burned down Wayne Manor, and I know that, Batman punched his teeth out.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we know.
Yeah, everywhere I could find,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking at going directly to the source, hopefully, and
I know, right? I'm like, okay,
yeah.
So I know. I was like, damn it! I'm like, I wish I could just be like, well, ask the man himself right now.
Yeah.
I know he's a busy dude right now, but no, I know. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, and then even me talking to Zach. I mean, obviously, when it came to the whole Joker and Robin thing. I mean, obviously, it's going to take it's a lot of people, of course, got all huffy puffy because it's not Jason Todd who died. It's Dick Grayson, but of course, he explained why he did that on the Vodka stream, which I was like, yep, okay, that makes sense. Totally love it. And then and then I remember even talking to him a while back too, like when we were in the thick of campaigning or marketing for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I remember one time I was talking to him on the phone, and he actually even said that Jared Leto got so when he was hearing people like, oh, what about this, and he was like reading what people were like saying about the Joker, he like dove into it. And he was like, hey, can we actually? He had told this to Zach, and it was funny because I was laughing. I'm like, that's hilarious, because after they shot all the Nightmare stuff, Jared Leto was like, let's do more. Can we do the flashback of Joker killing Robin?
Oh my god.
Like literally, like Zach had to tell him, like, oh, we can't. We're done.
Aren't supposed to be doing this, really.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm like, what we did was, extra. We can't do that, but maybe somewhere down the future we
maybe
can. But I could see that. I could see Jared Leto because of what we've heard, or how he approaches projects, he dives into the role. So obviously diving back into the Joker role, he was just like, oh, I want to do this. And like, so it's like one of those things where like, man, but yeah, I mean, I could see how you could really play with that when it comes to Scarecrow.
And something that I did want to do was, you know, in the storyboards and like in what Andre and everybody did so well with Project Justice League was show like, you know, what Zack had planned out after Justice League. We just don't know that much about before Justice League and BVS.
Yeah.
We really don't know like Ben's Batman story and like things that have happened other than some vague like, you know, 20 years in Gotham, there's not a lot of good guys left. Literally just that line and like 2 or 3 other things. But it was something I wanted to explore because I've never seen anything set in that, or not a lot of things set in that time frame. So the way I'm going about it was like, this is 5 years before the Black Zero event in Man of Steel. This is about 5 years before that my story is set.
Okay.
And he's not doing the branding.
He's not quite reached that. Is he like kind of getting there? He's getting to the point of like, wow. I mean, because one of the things that you could really just dissect is that conversation he has with Alfred before he takes on Superman in the burnt Wayne Manor. I mean, that's where I love that scene so much, because that's where I go, guys, did you not like the people who were like rallying against like how, you know, he's killing, he's branding,
it was all
I'm like that, like if you weren't getting all the little hints throughout the movie, if you didn't get the freaking where he is at in his mind,
he's screwed up.
Watching that exchange with Alfred, that's perfectly just where that just like they did a fantastic job. Ario and Zach did a fantastic job of like totally showing the audience of where Bruce Wayne is at with that scene right there.
And you can understand, you know, a lot of people are like, well, why would he immediately turn on Superman? And it's like, well, look at it this way. Like everybody in his life has either went rogue, died, or because of something that was his fault that he blames himself for. Everybody's, you know, had something go wrong. And he's like, I don't trust this guy. He shows up, half the city gets leveled, you know, he's pissed off.
Yeah.
He's mad. And he's just fed up. And something that is part of this story is that he's starting to catch himself. So I've got several moments so far that he's catching himself doing things that he wouldn't normally do. It's the beginning of that descent into what he becomes in BVS and then eventually overcomes in Justice League. He's noticing he's not pulling his punches, and he's really doing things that he wouldn't normally do. And the thing I actually posted today is it was some dialogue from the motion comic, where he's remembering things. He's coming into rooms and he's remembering things that happened in those rooms, and he's remembering bringing Joker to Arkham after he kills Robin. And I've got a little bit of a situation in it where it's a flashback to that. And the guards actually restrain Batman from continuing to hurt Joker. Ooh. They basically hold him back from punching him and doing anything else to him. So it's a weird thing where the guards are protecting Joker because Batman's so mad. And it's in a way it's a little nod to the Batman, actually, where he's in the police station, and Gordon is like, you know, what are you doing, dude? Like, you can't be in here like pushing people around.
Yeah, you can't be like, you can't be fucking with cops.
Either, I can't cover your ass. You know, like, and Gordon is a part of my story, and this shows a little bit of their back and forth and their relationship that we don't. I basically wanted to show a lot of things that we don't get to see because BVS just didn't have the time to explore.
Of course, it was all about the Superman and Batman story.
Yeah, exactly.
Lex fucking with them. No, I get that. Yeah,
and I just wanted to show some of these relationships and things, things like that. And there's going to be some other people that pop up. There'll be some other rogues gallery because he's in part of the stories in Arkham, so there will be more rogues gallery. and there will be some anti-heroes that show up. So that's yeah, and I'm really excited to actually, because I've only got like 2 people on voice acting right now, but I'm excited to like cast some of these roles.
What are they voice acting, if you don't mind me asking?
I've got a guy that I know personally. He's actually a filmmaker, and he's made several Nightwing films. His name's Maverick. He's a really good actor, and I've got
you got Tom Cruise. Interesting.
yeah, it's Maverick. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it's he's actually going to be voicing. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should keep that a secret because
it's up to you what you want to say, man. I mean, I can
he's
try,
voicing a cool character. I'm talking to him right now about it. And it's going to be interesting. Because he plays Robin in the movies that he makes, the fan films. Because his are all like actual films. I actually recommend them. They're called Nightwing Rebirth. I actually I did some photography for the premiere that they had. Because he did the premiere in my state.
I think I'm remembering something with that.
It's on YouTube. They're really good stuff. He's got a lot of good ideas, and he's I've bounced some stuff back and forth with him about like story ideas and writing and things. But he's voicing a character. But I had to pull him on early because he's really busy. So I wanted to go ahead and get him locked in, and if he can record some lines early, that'd be awesome. But everybody else I'll be casting soon in a month or 2. It's just the scale of what this was kind of went up a little bit.
Of course.
I really didn't think, it was going to get the coverage and stuff that it did. So I was like, man, I really got to make this like the best thing I can really, I just got to really put my all into it. So
that's good. I love it. How long, how long did it take you to write the script?
The initial script it was like I've been working on it like off and on since probably 2018.
Okay.
Like just here and there, adding stuff to take stuff out. But because the number of people that were positive about what I was doing, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna kind of like redo some of this and like with some ideas that I have now. And I kind of want to put some like real life stuff into it. Some things that have happened in real life with the movement that's going on, like with the whole Snyder Cut movement and things like that. So there's some parallels to that. It sounds weird to say that, but like it's in a really different way that I want to do it. But and I want to make sure that this is the same with Project Justice League. I want to make sure I can do this all for charity and do some good with it too, because that's all I could ask for is to do something like that. So
yeah, I mean that's what's so great. I mean, Project Justice League was just one of those things where it's like, it had a rocky, start. Of course it did, but but then it almost really, it was one of those things where it's like, as rocky as a start as that got, and I thought, oh, is this dead in the water? I mean, what was going on with this? And then all of a sudden, like, I commend Andre and Ryan for just like, picking up, copping to like, and basically I remember them doing the streams and just kind of apologizing for what was happening.
Yeah.
Obviously they got taken advantage of by a certain individual who thankfully is not around anymore when it comes to all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then they decided, all right, we're going to do this like how we intended to do it. And they pulled it off, obviously that was like, it was an easier, not easier, but I would say that they had the outline of course, the storyboards to work off of, which was great. But you're going off just, how can I make a Batman story in this world?
It's
with only the little tidbits that we know. That's the challenge.
The thing that's the hardest part of it is like, I want it. It's a balancing thing, because I want to make something that people will be like, dude, this is like, I'm thinking of this as like headcanon going forward. But I also don't want to just do things that I know I want to do things for myself also, like things that I think would be cool.
No, you got to.
But so I want to have a good balance of that. I really want to make sure that there's something for everybody in it. But it's weird because like seeing Project Justice League and how awesome that came out, and kind of inspired me to finally announce that I was working on this. because I've just had it in the wings forever, and I've been like slowly like talking to some people about it, and seeing how awesome that was, and how everybody came together, and really like, it just was a positive, mostly positive thing after it came out, and I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna announce this, I'm gonna say I'm doing it, and if people aren't interested, they aren't interested. I'll still do it for myself, but.
No. I mean, that's the thing is like, and I always love your art, I mean, you helped me with some of the stuff that I've, that obviously my little border in my Film Junkee Lives, you helped me with that. And no, I've always enjoyed your work. Anytime you post something, I'm always like trying to like just, I'm one of your biggest fans, Aaron. That's what I'm pretty much saying. I'm wondering, no, but I mean, and then when you announced this, I was like, well, this is great, because I've even had ideas of like, damn, I would love to just like, what would be a Batfleck story like this Batman that I think is my favorite, it is my favorite cinematic Batman. What would let's go back. What led him to where he is now, and the fact that you chose Scarecrow, I mean, obviously we've only seen Scarecrow when it comes to live action is, we've seen him in the Nolan one, which was good, but it was Nolan. It was very much
grounded
as, but then when I played the Arkham games, that Scarecrow was just, man. I remember that Scarecrow episode in Arkham Asylum, when you had to go through that level, and you have like the big Scarecrow with the freaking
and he's like stabbing,
the needles for his fingers, it's very like almost, it was Freddy Krueger like, so there's just always so much to do with that character. And like you said, just going off that episode of Batman the Animated Series, how obviously when Scott and I were talking about on Batman the Animated stream every Sunday, is the fact is like, we just love the fact, obviously one of the most iconic Kevin Conroy, I am the Knight.
That's from that episode.
That was in that episode because he had to overcome his,
such a cool moment too.
Oh my God, he goes, I am vengeance. I am the Knight. I am Batman. And then all of a sudden he's, God.
And the context of it too, with Scarecrow making him think that his father, he's disappointed in him, and what he thinks what he's doing is wrong. And for Batman, that's like, I mean, you see even in like, we actually, my girlfriend and I just watched Flashpoint, and I love that movie. That's like one of my favorite DC animated movies. And I just love, like, you can tell in the end of that how much Thomas Wayne means to Bruce. Like, his father just means so much to him. So to have in that episode have Scarecrow basically making Bruce think that his father was always disappointed in him, and what he's doing now he wouldn't approve of, was like, oh, dude.
Pulls on the heartstrings, man. I mean, and I'm kind of wondering, I mean, like when it comes to the Flash movie, I just wonder how much they're going to be, tapping into that a little bit too. And then there's not just one Batman, there's two. And so that's what's going to be crazy. But someone's going to be joining in right now. Someone who might have, he drew some other stuff too at one point. This guy right here.
What's up, man?
Fellow artiste right here. What's going on, Ryan?
Your mic's muted, man.
Your mic's muted. Oh, fail. Damn. You gotta love it. Hey, it's okay. I do it all the time. So
off of Yeti for some reason. It's like,
I know. I hate it when it like, when you do some stuff and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we took your default mic off for some reason.
Yeah. No, I've rearranged the studio, if you would, a room. I'd rearranged my room, and so same thing happened last night when we did our little show. But yeah, man, dude, hell yeah, that's the Scarecrow. I like the original Scarecrow from the animated series. The redesign was not good. It was like a step down.
What's interesting about the animated series is like the very first appearance of Scarecrow, his head looked like a balloon. And then they changed it because they realized that looks a little wonky. So if you watch that first episode, his head looks like a balloon. Still a good episode, obviously, because it gave us that iconic Conroy line. But then when you see him again, they changed it where it has the mouth.
He's got a mouth.
Yeah.
And then he's got the teeth that stick out. And then when it came to later on in the animated, they made it where he had like the cut noose over his neck, and he was like bigger, and it was there's been some interesting designs when it comes to the Scarecrow.
Sure, yeah, and like you mentioned with the Arkham game, it had the Freddy Krueger fingers and all that.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest incarnation of the Scarecrow yet.
Same. Yeah.
Potato Sack Headman, it didn't really do it for me. I would love to have. I would love for them to do like a dedicated Scarecrow film. Like that could be fucking.
Well, that's what I wanted to
be. Shit,
what...
like the thing that they did with Spider-Man 2, but better. Instead of what was his name, Mephisto or not Mephisto? What's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal. Mysterio. Yeah. So it could be trippy like that.
Yeah, I was totally drawing a blank too. I'm like, no, you're right. It's Mephisto, right? No,
yeah. I'm like, it starts with an M. I get credit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, but I mean, I always thought that when it came to Joker and the Black Label movies, I was like, well, you could do you could just call it Crane or Scarecrow.
Yeah,
you could easily do an R-rated crazy fucking movie when it comes to that. And I was like going, how do you not? I mean, obviously Todd Phillips said he pitched a couple other characters when he had this whole idea, and I'm like, you telling me that Scarecrow wasn't one of them? I mean, that could be something that's a straight up
to a follow up to the Joker, because I think, and this is just my opinion, haven't seen the second one yet, of course, but I think it was so well done, as an Elseworld story, and it was left up to the imagination at the end. So like, was he dreaming it? Was he not? Was it all in his head? You could, as the audience, you could decide that. And that's what I like about certain films, that's like, you're not spoon-fed. You actually can, and it opens the door for interpretation. We get on streams like this and debate or talk about it or whatever. I would have preferred that they had, like maybe gone and done like a Bane film, or maybe, Scarecrow, or, just sort of like done another deep dive, character film with, of course, Batman's Rogue Gallery is the best Rogue Gallery out there. But
hell yeah.
I mean, it would be really awesome to sort of like just do, a character, sort of deep dive on someone else, like you give Joker shine, let's go with another character. And
I think, Cillian Murphy, that's like incredible casting for Scarecrow. And I feel like it was a little bit wasted. Like,
well, he was originally up to play Batman, and he didn't get that role.
He did.
So,
he did.
But that would have been weird.
Nolan liked him and was like, all right, I'll, we'll it's kind of like, it's kind of like with Jesse Eisenberg. He was up for a different role, and then he just, Zach gave him Lex. You have different, and that happens a lot with you come in, they like your performance, or they like, your take, they like you, and they want to fit you somewhere. It's like, you're not this guy.
That happened with Tom Hiddleston in Marvel, because he auditioned.
Oh yeah, he auditioned for Thor.
There's even a video of that.
Yeah, I know. He was all like with sleeveless, and he had the
I'm
blonde
like, that
hair.
does not work.
And
it looks like Loki making
tell.
fun of Thor.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where you watch that, you go, you know what? Your heart was there.
Yeah, he tried.
A for effort.
Tried. Yeah, but exactly. But it was like, but I don't know if you have the frame for it. You're
well, and one thing with the Scarecrow, another reason why I went with Scarecrow for my thing was that it's like, I wanted to, since it's a motion comic, I was like, I think that would fit really well with the psychological aspect of Scarecrow, because you can do some really good like still image, like imagery of like messing with the mind. Like things, projections and things that aren't really there and things like that. And I thought, because I think I had to tell a few people, they were like, so is this going to have like a bunch of action scenes? And I was like, to be honest with you, to be 100% honest, this is a super psychological story that I've written. It's all like, it's presented as a lot of things where, like what you were talking about, Ryan, where like there's moments where Batman, he doesn't know if what he's seeing is real or fake.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Yeah, and it's mixed with flashbacks, so he's seeing things from the past, and he's seeing things that he can't differentiate from the past and what's happening now. And
Right.
I'm using that kind of like as a plot device to fill in some blanks of Affleck's Batman's past, even though it takes place more close to what we know.
Sure, and like you could do something. I haven't written your script or read your script, but you could do something like where he's like misremembering the past. His version of the past isn't quite correct because he's influenced by the drugs or the psychotropics or whatever it is, and it's like is that how it happened? Is that
Are you sure you didn't read my script? Hold on.
He hacked you.
Wait a minute. That was you. Okay.
Yeah. So
we didn't. You didn't know that Ryan was a hacker.
Man, jeez.
This guy.
Well, we did cast Anthony as Bane, so I had to get it.
That was inspired casting. Yeah. Yeah, that was inspired.
No, but I'm curious to see what those images look like, the trippy ones. I mean, obviously you shared some of the art, right? You're just strictly doing the art? Do you have
no.
people?
I've pulled on the guy that did the poster for me. His name's Steven. Strange SJP is what his name is on
Steven Strange.
Yeah, Steven. That's literally his name.
We got Dr. Strange.
That's literally his name on Twitter. But he's incredible.
Yeah.
And what I told him is I was like, look, I love the work you do, and I want you to do a poster for this. And I'm gonna, we're talking back and forth about maybe bringing him on and doing like some full stuff because basically I have to share the workload with it because I'm rendering most of the characters, and then the backgrounds I'm compositing in Photoshop.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to do that than rendering an entire scene altogether.
Well, you don't want to do that with all the the 3D lights bouncing off of refraction.
So I go in, I render the character first, get the lighting right, and then I turn the character off, render the background, turn the background off, render effects, and then I take it all into Photoshop and layer it all together, and then color correct and everything from there. So it takes a long time to do it.
And the best advice that I can give you, man, is to get sort of like a shot list of everything that is all the stuff that's required, and then the ancillary, and then this would be cool if we could do it. And and then that way you get your core, the core
the story,
the crux of what it and then you can just sort of like as you have time before your release or whatever, or also as things progress, things happen with the artists in their lives, because I mean, dude, back in 2001, man, I started working on a Star Wars fan film, and it was a beast. I went for like a 2-hour no holds barred fucking just a full-length feature, because I was like, I'm gonna do it one and done. And so I got the help of like the high school performing visual arts. I got so many people that were working in different platforms as far as like Maya and 3D Max and Lightwave, and I just had a whole bunch of people because it was Lucasfilm. They did it, couldn't pay them, but they did it out of just the sheer love of Star Wars, and they just wanted to see something of theirs on a screen or whatever. So it got overwhelming. Life got in the way. A lot of things happened, and that was sort of like the ship that I had to help Andre steer, because he hadn't done it before. And I was like, these are the things you need to watch out for, because they can creep up on you without you expecting it. And then your project suffers, because at the end of the day, dude, the last bit of it is you have to rely on yourself, because if something happens with somebody, dude, you got to be able to like, okay, I can still press on.
Yeah.
Just me doing it.
Yeah.
And not feel overwhelmed with the sheer amount of effect shots that you want to get done.
Well, and that's part of the reason why, like, I made sure when I went into it that I could do everything if I need to. It'll take longer, but I physically can do all the parts if I need to. I mean, obviously the music and like voice acting, I can't do myself, but like I'm a terrible voice actor.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'll just get on there. I'm Batman.
Ooh,
voice modulator.
Yeah, I can't do that part. But
you don't like falafel.
I mean, with Ben's Batman, you do have the benefit of him using a modulator, so that does help. You don't have to go full Christian Bale. But everything visual wise, I can do. It's just if I can pull on help to do it, great.
Yeah.
And I've got one thing that I absolutely wanted people to help with was storyboarding it, was getting some like rough sketches and ideas of like what,
Yeah.
so that way I can go into and render things based on like I have a visual to look at.
Yeah.
Something I can go, this
for the project that we worked on, that's how I was brought in.
Okay.
I would just do concept art, storyboard, whatever. And I wasn't one of the lead artists or whatever. It wasn't until things like kind of fell apart where I was like, okay, I'll do this. But these are the things that we need to do to go forward or whatever, because of whatever happened with the artwork prior. And I just kind of, I don't want to say he snuck in there, but I just kind of said, hey, if we want to do this, dude, then I'm willing to devote this time. Yep. Let's fucking go. And that's how that happened.
Well, and so that's the thing, you're passionate about it, and that's
sure,
yeah, and that's a big part of it, and that's something that that's something that I anybody that is asked to be part of it, I'm like, dude, as long as you're passionate about telling a Batman story, like, let's go. Like, if that's what you want to do. Then,
well, I mean, Batman is easily one of the most popular characters, comic book characters out there, regardless of what comic book house is putting it out there. He's the number one.
Yeah.
Hey, Superman, Spider-Man, they're there as well, but I mean, Batman sells. And that's why, when they did, Matt Reeves, the Batman, they were just like, Batman sells. We're printing money. But if we need money,
the challenge is always like to be like, how do I tell a different story that we haven't really seen? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like when Matt Reeves took it over, it's like, all right, well, how is he going to differ? And then all of a sudden we saw that first trailer and went, oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
It was really different,
yeah.
But it was very reminiscent to what Nolan was doing. And there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that he did better than Nolan. Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that Nolan did better than he did.
I always love the when Kevin Smith said, like, when he compared those two, and he read a quote and he said, like, Nolan brought Batman into reality. Matt Reeves brought reality into Batman. So I always like that look at it, because Nolan, if you watch the Nolan, you go like, oh yeah, I mean, it's like Gotham looks, I mean, it's Chicago. I mean, it's not like it's not anything.
Well, the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises were Chicago.
Yeah.
Batman Begins was the only one out of the three where Chicago was not really. It was Gotham.
See, I'm the weird guy, because Batman Begins is my favorite one out of the three.
It is. It's my favorite one.
Weird.
I love that movie.
But to me, it's like when it came to Matt Reeves' Batman, he had, I mean, like when it came to the way that Gotham City looks and everything looks, he did bring, it was like a dark Gothic looking place, but he tried to bring realism into that place, and already having all, like, you have Catwoman, you have Joker, you have Penguin, you had it already in there. So I think that I always like that comparison. It's like, obviously there's grounded in reality, sure. But at the same time, it's like a different kind of approach than what Nolan did, because he very much was trying to put him in reality. We go, I mean, I could see there'd be a guy like that, but then,
Nolan was definitely more grounded. I think Matt Reeves' Gotham has a little bit more character. And the actual other
it's
characters
more Gothic. It's more
Gothic.
Yeah.
And it does stray from reality, because when Batman hits the bus, he should have died. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of but I mean, it's a good, exactly. He's like, like the Fockers. Robert De Niro fixes his own back. He's like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah. It's like with Matt Reeves' thing is like, I think with Nolan's approach, the really heavy realism works for some characters to me.
Yeah,
like Joker makes total sense, grounded in reality. There's not a lot of supernatural elements about Joker. Same with Riddler. You don't need you don't need like some sort of fantastical element to Riddler for him to work. What I'm worried about is if Matt Reeves tries to adapt somebody that does have fantastical elements,
right? Like what what
Nolan did. Like I wasn't a fan of what Nolan did with Bane. I didn't like.
I wasn't a fan. I was not a fan either.
Because I feel like
it was iffy. It was iffy.
You take away like Bane's. The big thing with Bane is he's addicted. He needs venom.
Yeah,
he's literally like an.
And see, I thought that what they were going to do was from the first movie, from that flower. I thought they were going to take that and venomize it, and then that was going to be what he was using to sort of pump into his veins, and not necessarily. I wouldn't have made him like grow, of course, in Nolan's verse, but I would have made his muscles just, and just sort of get more
like
dense.
Veins pop out or something.
Veins pop out. His structure's more dense, but maybe like maybe the side effects, when he goes back down, he's weaker than he used to be, or his bones are a little bit more brittle off of the substance or whatever.
I will say it sounds like it makes me feel weird to say that like Joel Schumacher adapted a Batman villain better than Nolan, but I mean Bane and the Schumacher, like, it's a little more comic accurate. Like,
it is
the look of him. The look of him.
Oh, not
but it was just some random like skinny dude.
I'm sorry, but Bane from that reminded me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze, Joker and Razor.
Super Shredder, even Super Shredder. I remember Super Shredder. I thought it was cool, man. I mean, he looked badass, but like it was like not even that long. But no. Like when Nolan did it, it was weird because there's so many things that when it came to the Nolan trilogy, it was like, was he going to use Heath Ledger again? Most likely in the third one. And then of course he couldn't. And then to me, I always felt like Dark Knight Rises was just kind of like, well, I got to do something. Everybody wants to do Riddler. I'm going to do this. And did it work fully? No, it's the weakest one in the trilogy, of course. Like a lot of people think that. I don't hate it, but there's things where I'm like, there's some things where
you get from like, okay, so I'm a fan of the Tumbler, by itself, but it's not a Batmobile because he didn't do shit but paint it black. Yeah. And then the Bat,
it's a come in black.
Yeah. It's like, no, we can special order it actually. So,
yeah.
So, guys, and then the Bat was shit. From the third one.
The plane.
That was horrible.
That was bad.
But the other thing that I did, the thing I did like about Rises was you had the other tumblers, and I was like, well, there you fucking go. You got.
I like the bike too.
The
bike is sick.
The bike is the best
with the
thing.
Spinning wheels. That's so
cool.
That's
dope.
Rotate. Yeah, that's.
I like the bike from Matt Reeves the Batman.
Yes.
Matt Reeves the Batman, the Batmobile in that just reminds me of Fast and Furious. It's just a muscle car. It's cool, I love it though. But
love that.
I want to see a Batmobile like Ben Affleck's Batmobile. Fucking dope as shit. Looks like a Formula One.
To me, that's the best one.
Yeah, dude.
Live action,
and I love Elfman, not Elfman. I love Keaton's.
Somebody flip that out. He loves Elfman.
Yeah. He's so awesome. Was he from Flock of Seagulls? And
Naira. No, it's fuck. What's the other? It's the other.
He's from one of those.
It's Oingo Boingo.
No, Oingo Boingo. There you go. I was like, no, not Flock of Seagulls, but something else.
You guys, there's only ever been one Batman theme, okay?
Yeah,
only ever been one.
Oh, God.
I do like Batman the animated series theme, and the lady that put that together, arranged that, did get help from Elfman.
Well, you know the thing, I understand. A lot of people, I mean, rightly so. A lot of people don't like a lot of criticism about. I can still make points about like things I didn't like in BVS, but still be a huge fan of BVS. I'm not a super fan of what is essentially Ben Affleck's Batman theme. Like, because technically his theme is not, oh man, I forgot what the piece is called in the beginning when he's in the graveyard. The piece of music that plays there, that's not his theme.
Andre would know.
Yeah, he probably would know. But, like, his theme's what play, it's like, it plays when he's in the warehouse for a minute.
Beautiful Lie?
Beautiful Lie's not his theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think, because there's an actual piece that's his theme. And it's kind of just it sounds cool, but it's not memorable.
There's not a distinctive theme when it comes to Batfleck, I don't think. Like, you hear the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
But that's like, I mean, anytime I hear that, I just see like Ben Affleck's like angry eyes looking up, and I'm
looking at the bat suit,
just looking at.
When he's
I think the reason for that is because Batman had to share a Man of Steel movie, and he didn't have his own theme, and I really, we're in this, and you're making this awesome fan film, but I wish they had just gave us a standalone Batfleck film right before BVS, just to show like this is what happens, not connected, but then show me the fucking Back to the Future 2 where like Zod's shit's falling everywhere and that's how they meet and all that. I would love to have seen that. Just sort of give me a prequel, whether it's before or after BVS. I could care less, but I would have loved for them just to have that momentum and just like, okay, let's
I
see
agree.
what this is.
I'm in the camp of, though, I definitely would have wanted an Affleck story after BVS, because the way he's introduced in BVS is perfect to me.
Yeah,
you know nothing about his Batman, and
it's
cops
very
walk
Star
in.
Wars esque, and like, you know, you're just kind of you're flung into what's going on.
This
and
is
you
the
just
world.
Gotta,
this is how
you
it
gotta
is.
feel it out. Yes.
Yeah,
and that's why, you know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I know, just for this DCU thing that James Gunn's doing, you know, just throw Pattinson and that. I'm like, no, dude, Matt Reeves designed a world, and every other character would have to adhere to that world and make that shit make sense. You know, you'd have to bring in like Diana. How does Diana fit in the world of Gotham? You know, with you know, whatever physics are there, or, you know, I mean.
But Ryan, they wore Halloween costumes in the movie that were Wonder Woman and Superman.
They cut him out because look,
they
cut him out because James Gunn gave them notes.
Yeah, he was like,
he got
check
the
this
gig.
out. Yeah,
And
he's been
there
giving
were
notes since
massive
2017.
reshoots.
Yeah.
Massive
But you know, with the Batman, people saying like, bring him into the main universe or make Matt's universe the main universe. I'm like, that's not gonna work. Matt wrote these to be it's a Batman piece. It's a Batman centric universe.
Well, it's because Pattinson is not as off-putting as people thought he would be before they saw the film. Like David mentioned earlier about, you know, not knowing what this thing was going to be until you saw the first trailer. And then, you know, after that, people are more accepting. Same thing with, you know, with Michael Keaton. Nobody liked Michael Keaton back in the 80s. They were like, oh, Mr. Mom, what are you talking about? Beetlejuice? You got to be kidding me. And then he comes out and it's like, oh, well, shit, you know. But what made the movie wasn't so much Michael Keaton. It was more Jack Nicholson. And that's kind of where you have to like really, and this is just my opinion, but the villain has to be the fucking star of the show, because he has to, he has to make it to where the hero has to step up and like fucking take care of him. That's why Loki is awesome. That's why you know, the Black Panther movie, what's his name? Killmonger is awesome. You know, that's what made Zod you know, awesome, is just you have really good villains and the heroes have to step up and like, you know, confront the villain.
You can't have the villain outshine the hero. They have to play off each other.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Reeves just did an interview about what you're talking about. I saw.
Yeah, I know.
Earlier. He said he's keeping the Batman, the main character, in the center thing instead of the villains. He literally just said that, which I was like, oh man.
Well,
like,
I mean,
what's kind of opposite from most Batman?
Yeah, and what I took from that is the fact that and that's what I liked about the Batman a lot. It was the fact that they didn't have to introduce like all these characters. Penguin was already established. Joker was already, obviously that was like a later, you know, we got the little, not post credit, but we got that scene later on. And then of course we got the scene that was released, and it was
and then we got my really well done
Photoshop
of the three pieces that didn't cause any controversy or anything at all. No.
Yeah. God damn it. That thing still gets passed around. Anytime I see that image and then I just look and see the watermark that says Aaron Bailey art, I'm like, damn it, Aaron. God damn it. Look what you did. Look
I'm
what
about
you
to Photoshop Zach somewhere that he's not supposed to be or something. Like a
I know you've had some good Photoshop bangers.
Yeah.
That was one of them. The Zach on what red carpet was it? Spider-Man?
There were several, yeah. He was at the Oscars.
Yeah. There was something where people were like, "Oh my god!"
I did one. I remember seeing I was randomly scrolling on Instagram, and I had done one where Zach was standing at like a screen, and behind him on the screen it said Justice League Part 2. And it was like H Max Original. And I literally, my watermark was huge on that one, like gigantic. and I saw on Instagram some account with like 100,000 followers was like, guys, oh my god. And they tagged me and they were like, source Aaron Bailey art confirms that Zach will make Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. And I was like He did no such. I confirm no such thing. I did not do this.
But
It
he
a
was
joke.
on the Rebel Moon set.
Yeah, that means
Yeah, you
yeah.
got the hat, so
Oh yeah,
that's
see?
proof enough for me.
Yeah, yeah. The amount
No,
of
but,
things
like-
that has caused, man.
Yeah, but when it comes to Matt Reeves and like when I read about that about the yeah, but I mean, but he still needs to have whatever main villain to kind of, and what I've been hoping, and I talked about it too previously, is the fact that it's like, all right, I'm hoping there is a a Harvey Dent, but let's not rush right into like a Two-Face
Sure.
right here. But
Yeah.
I do like what Scott Snyder did, and especially when it came to All-Star Batman Rebirth that came out where Batman had to take Two-Face across, and of course a bunch of people trying to kill him. I thought that was a great story. And then they did the whole flashback of the fact that Harvey and Bruce were friends in boarding school, or whatever the hell. I actually like that little change, and I'm like, yeah, do that here and have because obviously we have a Bruce Wayne that is very much not very social, let's face it.
Yeah.
And who else could better give him, get him out there? Is a Harvey Dent, an old chum. And I'm just kind of like going, hey, why not have something like that?
And
then
and have villains for more than one movie. I like the idea of like, because nowadays Marvel loves
You mean like
to,
Billy D. Williams when he
yeah, reprise his role.
Yeah.
No, like because Marvel has this thing now where they're like, we physically cannot have most of our villains exist past one movie. And I'm just like, other than like the big ones like Thanos and like Kang and stuff, but like you've got Ultron, you've got like all these cool villains, and they're dead in the first movie, and they're like confirmed dead.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want the Batman universe to actually have some like have Harvey Dent in like 2 movies.
Yeah.
And then have him be Two-Face in like the third movie.
That's exactly what I said, Aaron. I said, like, have Harvey
Yeah.
Dent in the second one, but he's not the villain. He's just somebody
Yeah.
there to help Bruce
Exactly.
come out of his shell, have that established, and then maybe at the end you could have the whole, accident happen.
It gives it
whatever the hell.
stakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives it you
Because
get
then-
attached to the character.
Exactly, because what I liked about in Batman the Animated Series was the Two-Face episode is like it fucked with Bruce bad. Like there's a scene where he's just like no sleep. He's in the Batcave in his robe, and he's got spread out like all the psychological literature or like books or whatever, because he wants to help his friend out so badly that is just now messed up. And it's like, we didn't get that with Nolan because it was just like they barely knew each other. It was just like a whole thing. It was a different take on it, but I want that take of like Bruce really just getting fucked, like the fact that he was coming out of his shell, and then all of a sudden his friend has this horrific accident, realizes that he has multiple personalities, and he wants to help him so bad, so he gets obsessed with that, because Batman always gets obsessed with shit like this. So that's what I'm hoping for, but who knows?
Well, it's the same thing with villains. I mean, it all started with did it? Yeah, okay. I want to say it all started with Keaton's Batman when the Joker died, and then Danny DeVito died, and then and then they got a little lighter after that. But then after that, it was like, okay, so Green Goblin died, and then Doc Ock, he drowned, and so they just kept killing the villains at the end. Like Aaron was saying, it's like one of the really cool things that you can do with a villain is like have him get thwarted or whatever, and then have him like come back and say, I figured shit out, now try to stop this or whatever it is. And then that raises the stakes, and and the hero sort of has to work around like, well, how do I deal with this person now? I thought I figured him out, and they do that within the movie. Like they have a first encounter, the hero loses, and then they have the second encounter, hero wins. And that's the sort of, that's the trope.
It is a trope. It's a trope like that with boxing movies too. It seems
crazy. Hey, you lay off a Rocky.
Hey, loses the first one and then comes back.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Creed 3. I'm like, I'm gonna do the same thing. Are we gonna do the same thing here?
He's got to do something. He's not Superman. Calvin Ellis, Al Zod. So he's like, that didn't work out.
Well, yeah, no. Who knows what's happening with all that? No, but back to Night of the Batman. So the title of Night of the Batman, is it all taking place in one night, or is
it's over. From what
or
I
like
can,
the main part? I don't know.
it's a night, and he to kind of a little bit of expanded synopsis, but he gets locked in Arkham eventually at night overnight, and it's part of Scarecrow. Scarecrow basically causes something that gets him to go to Arkham, and it's a trap. And because it's a trap, and Scarecrow knows that Batman will show up if he knows something is wrong. He uses that to his advantage.
Okay.
Gets him in Arkham, and he knows that in Arkham it's a closed-in space. It's somewhere that he can, he has a better chance of screwing with him, and he's got a lot of bad memories there. And
what you could do is
other
have
inmates.
Sort of like that could be one of the things that fucks with him is like, how long have I been here? You have the time, like a timestamp for each sort of interaction or whatever that happens in Arkham, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, time is missing or time is gone back a bit or whatever. You could that could be fun.
Yeah, and that's and he's constantly, he's got all these memories from different places in Arkham, and he doesn't realize that he has all these memories until he's there, and he's like, "Oh my God! Like I've this is somewhere that something has happened. This is the cell of somebody that I put away for this," and he kind of has to confront his past, and just like I was saying earlier, there's parts of it where he doesn't know what's real and what's fake. He doesn't know if it's part of the fear toxin or if it's his own mind going crazy. And I think, and I want to use this as like a segue to bring him to the Bruce that we see in BVS. So like this is going to be how he kind of like gets to the boiling point that he gets at with Superman. It's a build-up. So
he starts branding people to know which is reality and which is not.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I locked you up. Yeah.
This is real. You guys are burning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can smell that flesh.
Yeah.
No, that's good though. I mean, like, because that's what's good is like you have you have BVS to lead up to, I guess you could say, because you can do it where it's like, all right, he's gonna have he falls into a dark pattern, and then all of a sudden he's got the redemption, and we just end it with it's all great. And no, but you have to get it to the point where he gets even more cruel than he is. So that's
it's like
cool.
a backward. It's like weird to write like that, where you're like, okay, so you have a character that's not and then he's gonna go worse, but then I'm setting it up to where he gets better in at the end of BVS. So it's like, I get the in-between part that I'm doing. But I had some people, it was weird. Like they asked me, they were like, so does this take place before or after, or like, does this contain stuff from after the storyboards? And I was like, you didn't read the storyboards, did you? Like,
apparently. I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, you didn't
made it where you don't have to read them.
you didn't watch the motion comic, did you? Because it's kind of ends in a way that would not allow that. But that's something that like I was like, we know what his end is, we know where, but we don't know where he started. We don't know where these stories in between how he got to where he's at. And I love Ben's Batman so much that I just feel it's such a missed opportunity that we've never gotten anything. Even I think his Batman would have been great for a series. I think like an HBO Max big budget series would have been like just perfect, where you can let characters and stuff just set for episodes.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the time I agree with you. I mean, aside from the crap that we got from Gotham.
Gotham was fine for about
the first season. The first season,
I would say about 3 seasons, it was okay, and then it started.
I think we can all agree that his suit at the end is the best Batman suit ever put to screen.
Oh, right? Just the best.
Just the best.
My God, when I saw that thing, I was like, oof, they put that together like that day.
Well, and remember, like, and then Titans faked me out a little bit, because Titans in that episode.
Well, yeah, they made Alfred Batman in that one.
But like when they show Batman first showing up in that episode where he's killing people, and Robin's investigating, the suit almost looked like the Arkham suit when they had it in the shadows and in the smoke, and I was like, dude, are they going to do live action Arkham suit? Because that would be like Arkham Knight. And then you see what the suit actually looks like, and you're like, ooh.
Horrible.
I mean, and the Robin suits look pretty damn good
Yeah.
in that.
Everything else in the show looks pretty great.
I didn't like the Nightwing suit, but I thought the Robin suits were pretty.
The Robin suit was fantastic.
Yeah,
and it almost looked like it could fit in with. BVS,
well, so many people did. So many people did like a manip or whatever of the Robin and Ben. And like, okay, dude, Thwaites.
And there was Brendan Thwaites, yeah. And there were so many theories too. I remember reading all the time about like, is this secretly connected to Affleck's Batman? And are we going to find out that like that was his Robin? And then
what's so funny is like the fans are more creative than the creatives.
Pretty much.
That would have been a great twist.
Because immediately you go, did you see the Robin costume in BVS? That's not.
Well, they were like, oh, it's a different costume. It's a different era of, but the thing with that is it's like, that would have been a cool twist actually. Like he finally gets a hold of Bruce and it's Affleck that walks out and you're like, oh shit. Like this has been a prequel the whole time or like, following up to event. Like, nope.
I mean, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, when Snyder came in and there was nothing. There was nothing when it came to a DC universe. Nothing. They tried they were like, hey, we're going to do the same thing that Marvel did. And we're going to have one of the characters that people are like, and we're going to do our own Iron Man, which is Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That worked out well.
Yeah,
that totally worked out well. And, they had it. They had the pieces. They just didn't have the fucking script.
Yeah, the story was shit.
Yeah, story was shit. They had
the villain again, same thing. The villain was shit.
It was all horrible, but they had a good lead actor. I
didn't hate Sinestro in that. I didn't hate him.
Mark Strong. He's fantastic.
I think
he was great.
Think the Green Lantern, the lantern scenes, like out in the cosmos,
in space. Yeah,
I actually think those are great scenes.
What should have happened?
Exactly.
Get the fuck away from Taika Waititi. So just take Ryan off world and just keep him off world.
Those scenes are the best. Those scenes are the best.
And then that's supposed to cause like a rift between him and Carol. Like, where the fuck have you been? You've been off world. You're not, I thought you were dead, whatever, because he got taken away. Things are more important than what's going on in your life because it's the universe. Meet up with the Red Lanterns, show us what's up with that. Introduce the Blue Lanterns from the Green Lantern Corps. Show us all the thing that they did in the animated, they should have done in live action.
Well, there's this like weird thing with Hollywood now where they're so afraid to like make cosmic characters actually cosmic. It's like they all want to have just like the Transformers movie.
I was going to bring that up. You have to have Shia LaBeouf and his family.
I don't need. Can we just have an entire movie on Cybertron and just
the opening of Bumblebee. I was like,
so good.
I was like, look at that.
Had nothing to do with Christina Hodson.
That last scene, that last scene of the trailer for Rise of the Beasts, where it's just nothing but Autobots fighting on a big battlefield. I'm like, give me 2 hours of that, dude. Yeah, I'll freaking watch it. But no, I don't. We have to have like the Megan Fox Shia LaBeouf relationship.
You've got to have those
Mark
characters
Wahlberg.
To connect. And
I don't need to connect to humans. I see humans all the time. I want to see Autobots.
Well, I mean, one of the ways to do it, and it's not maybe, people, look at like the Godzilla 2014. I thought they handled, what's his name? Gavin O'Connor?
Gavin.
I thought he handled, oh, wow, you're seeing the magnitude of what's happening through these humans' eyes, and the way that he approached it was better than
Matthew Broderick's.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about?
That's my favorite one.
He's pregnant. Yeah. Remember,
they're like raptors.
He actually got a birth. He got a pregnancy test and.
Oh, that's right. He did do that, didn't he?
There's like the whole thing, like, oh yeah. Somehow he was able to use a human pregnancy test on Godzilla.
That passed by. I want you to think about the fact that passed by a writer's room and executives. They said, "Oh, this makes sense." Like,
it's Roland Emmerich, man. Come on.
And the thing is like Roland Emmerich made one of my favorite movies in Stargate. I love Stargate.
Stargate's great. The first Stargate is fantastic.
The show kind of falls apart, but
I don't care about anything beyond the first Stargate.
You gotta love one of my favorite things ever is like you watch the movie and it's so incredible, and you're like the cast is good. Kurt Russell and James Spader, they're also good, and then you get to the show and they're like, hey, we're the same people, and it's just like the worst.
I'm like,
performance
wait a
I've
minute,
ever seen.
It's like watching Team NT2 and Corey Feldman is not Donatello.
Yeah, you've replaced your MVPs all with like the.
I never understood that. Why is it like?
I think Corey had something else going on.
I know, but why would you not get somebody that sounds like Corey Feldman?
I mean, it's not like the surfer kid is just not a. It's not a thing.
Yeah, but then he came back for the third one.
He did come back.
It's like, okay, but like the second one, you hear that, and it's like the voice is completely different. It's like you couldn't find somebody that kind of had that like voice, you couldn't have, anybody could have done that. It's not like, it wasn't hard, but they had somebody that, it was like very strange.
Yes.
Very
and
strange.
then you couldn't use weapens because of the parents, so they had to use like fucking sausages and shit.
Leonardo was no swords. Like, what?
Yeah.
Good God, man.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That anytime that happens in movies where like they drastically change a character between movies, I'm like, oh, this is so weird. Like it takes me out of it. It just unless it's a better performance, then it's not too bad. But
it's funny because like when the first Ninja Turtles came out and it was such a huge hit, but then it's like they had the complaints, but it's like, well, why would we change it because it was such a huge hit?
Yeah.
Why would you want to change it?
Well, it's the same thing with the Batman franchise. It had all the violence or whatever. Parents called in, hated it or hated on Batman Returns.
I will
the Happy Meal toys and all that, and then the third and fourth one were nipples.
Yeah, hell yeah. It was all nipples.
No violence, just nipples. Yeah.
I mean, I will slightly agree with that because when it came to when Batman '89 came out, amazing. It was like, oh my God, look at this, look at Gotham, it's all crazy and whatever the hell. And
the princes everywhere.
Yeah. But then when it came to the second one, they were like, Tim Burton, do what you want. And Tim Burton said, okay. And he made a Tim Burton movie because when it came to '89, it was like half a Tim Burton movie.
Yes.
But it was still like, but then when it came to Returns, it was like, oh, this is just taking place in a snow globe. And it is complete. I mean, everything was Tim Burton to the max. So, I mean, I still enjoy it. I'll watch it during Christmas, but I kind of go, I actually like Batman Forever better. I'm just saying.
Which is funny because it makes you wonder.
Yes.
It makes you wonder how much, like with the new Flash movie coming out, which movie they're going to pull more from. I think it's going to be Batman '89.
I think, because it's endearing. And I thought that they would use the Batman '89 like logo. Just to sort of like, show the fans like this is.
I love that logo so much.
That's the superior one,
It's and I made a shirt,
weird. Like, are they going to reference the Flash movie's fascinating to me because it's like they're like, are they going to reference like things that happened? Like, is he going to be like, yeah, this one time I fought a guy that was like he was like round and he walk like a penguin or something, like like is he gonna talk about any of that stuff, or is this like a multiverse situation where
they probably will do?
He's a different version.
Well, remember in No Way Home when they talked about like they were talking about like who they fought, like, oh yeah, I fought an alien and blah blah blah. Maybe they'll do something. I don't know,
because they let you know in No Way Home that like those two versions we see are definitely the ones that we watched in the movies. That they're not variants or something.
Well, I mean, he's got the same cave because they reconstructed the cave from
same
the
Batmobile.
First film, same Batmobile. He's got a different suit, one that's allows him to pee. And
hopefully turn his neck.
Oh, that's going to be a thing. You just know, like, how do you turn your neck in this thing?
Yes,
they're going to do it.
Oh and, especially with the other Barry
too.
Yeah, the other Barry, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's just, and yes, and there's one thing that this is just my theory, but me and Andre were talking about it. I think that the younger Barry, in the spray painted suit, who has his mom, is going to realize that our Barry from Zack Snyder's universe is like, well, I got to reset time, which unfortunately that would kill her off, and they don't understand that these multiverses can all exist. He's just like, oh shit, you're closing this shit down. I've got to stop you from doing that because I don't want to lose my mom. So I think that's what's kind of going to happen because there's no Reverse Flash, unfortunately, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know, like I'm very intrigued by it. Very much looking.
How much do you want to bet? I will bet you right now, Ryan. I will bet you right now. that at the end of the movie, Barry 2, the post-credit scene of The Flash is Barry 2 turning around and he's in a yellow suit and he's Eobard.
No way.
I'll
take that bet.
He's manipulating.
There's no way. There's no way that they.
And then he says some bullshit line like, "I knew the only way to get to you, Barry, was through yourself. Was to show you yourself." And he's like, oh, dude, like, because there was rumors that Reverse Flash was in an earlier version.
There were rumors that like there was Black Flash in it and shit, and I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck.
I mean, they wrote so many freaking scripts for this movie.
Well, yeah, there were so many writers on it,
big time.
Yeah,
I would have preferred Zemeckis. I would have loved.
Dude, that would have been so good. Oh,
because they did court him. I don't know that he ever. He took a meeting, but I don't think he.
I was a big fan of Rick Famuyiwa. Like, I liked.
Oh shit! No. I think he was.
That was the first. We were all looking forward to that.
He was the first person,
especially when you watch his Mandalorian episodes. My God.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Good. He probably had some of the. He had the Bill Burr. Mandalorian
and that dynamic that Bill Burr had with the Imperial officer, that scene that he directed between those two, where the tension, and he's like, I was there when all this crap went down, and the officer's realizing, oh crap, this dude's like,
oh, saggy. I love you too. The only thing I hated with that was the Gungan comment. I was like, okay, all right, everybody. Yeah, I was like, come on. I think what would have fixed episode 1 as far as the Gungans would have them speak. I forget the name of it, but have them speak sort of in a Jamaican, like I forget the sort of not broken English, but it's they have their own language so that others couldn't understand what they were saying. But it should be like that and have subtitles, and then that would have made that whole race less campy. Yeah, and more like, okay, they're an alien species. Got to do a little bit of reading, but I mean, hey, we had to do that shit in all the other films. So
yeah. You can't ask people to read, man. Come on.
What are you talking about? No reading.
I mean, every Star Wars movie starts off with a crawl. Come on now.
I know, right? And it's like, fuck.
Like, okay, the
I had a friend that would never read those, and when we would always go see Star Wars movies, and he would never read the crawl. He'd be like on his phone or he'd be doing something, and then halfway through the movie, he'd go like, so like, how did this happen? Like, what is going on? And I'm like, you didn't read the setup for the movie. You're not and then, I'm like, dude, they literally had an entire thing that explained.
Literally go like, hey, this is what's going on. We
watched Empire for the first time and we're like, dude, why are they fighting on an ice planet? And I was like, it literally explains that in the crawl.
Right. Oh man, it's crazy. But going back to the Flash, I mean, it's I'm just very curious to see what they inject in there. And then of course, having Batfleck, having Keaton's Batman, it's just, man, it's like one of those things where it's just kind of going like, are we going to get a scene with those two, even if they didn't film at the same time? Are they going to be doing something like that? I mean, obviously there's things that come out, we're not in test screenings. Test screenings have been possible. I don't know.
It's the most positive test screening since The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Every DC movie ever.
Yeah. Since The Dark Knight.
They're gonna do like, I have this side, like, I just have a feeling because they wanted to adapt Flashpoint for so long. Instead of Thomas Wayne sending Affleck's Bruce Wayne a letter, it's going to be Keaton's Batman sending,
and it's going to be Bruce about Alfred, because Michael Koff is dead. And and of course, Jeremy Irons is like somebody that, it's his only family left. So he's like, oh man, hey, you still have yours, fucking cherish him. And
they're going to so do that. And it's not going to hit as hard to me as the Thomas.
It won't.
It's his. I mean, it's his.
We had all these crazy ass ideas, like, oh, I think Barry's gonna go back in time, make a fucking butterfly effect where he's gonna like save Robin from dying, and that's gonna fix Ben Affleck from going down this dark ass path, and that's gonna change everything else, or the whole, and we're like, yeah, and we're like, no, that's completely
no. They're gonna fight. No, Zod's gonna show up, and we're gonna have like for some reason, like
I think okay. Now, where do you guys see Zod fitting in? Because I think it's gonna be like his little encounter in Smallville, not in Metropolis.
Yeah, I think it'll be a Smallville thing. Yeah,
because Feora is supposed to be there as well.
I think it's going to be Metropolis.
I think it's going to be Smallville.
Because what I think they're doing I think they're flipping the script from Man of Steel. They're gonna have Sasha Calle's Supergirl be basically Superman, but in the Man of Steel. Like
World.
she's in that situation that Clark was in Man of Steel,
Hmm.
instead of him. And it's going to be Zod.
I thought it would be more of like
codex.
the Back to the Future. You see it, the same thing happen from a different view because he's trying to get back to wherever, but he's like zipping and going into the wrong spots.
That's possible, but I feel like Zod would have mentioned if Supergirl.
Oh, he died.
Oh yeah, did he die? He got his neck snapped. That's right. He can't talk about Supergirl if he's,
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah. They sing a whole song about it in the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like to me that would actually be more interesting.
I think Sasha Calle is going to be the she's going to be in a gray outfit to begin with, kind of like in the Flashpoint.
Yeah.
And real weak, and because she's shielded from the sun.
Yeah, that's
and I think it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Cyborg again to let them in the facility to get to her, but I think maybe they got what's his name? I'm blanking. Harry Lennox to let them in the facility. Maybe they got him. I don't know.
As Martian Manhunter.
Well, I don't think they're gonna go that route. I think they're just gonna have him be the
there's no way
Swanwick.
Yeah,
so that's what's going to be interesting because obviously we heard that they're going to be going back into those movies, and then it kind of like, all right, Man of Steel. Is there going to be something that goes back to BVS? I'm imagining so. Is there going to be with the other movies too? I just wonder how many movies are they going to tap into, and then of course when it even goes, and then of course it could be the previous Batman movies.
Well,
Batman Returns, Batman '89. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. And then, of course, when we saw that featurette, if anybody saw it when it leaked out, I mean, it was showing.
He's saving all the babies.
Yeah,
that is going to be the worst. Like, I'm sorry, but Babies in Peril. I don't think that I think it's going to be like a cute, like slow motion kind of like agoo, and they're just going to be like floating around, and he's going to be saving them. But I'm like, why are you putting babies in that sort of position anyway, Warner Brothers?
But he's saving them.
I don't think that scene's going to be in that. I think that was a concept. I think there's going to be something.
I hope you're right.
But
it got all the way to the concept. Like somebody fucking drew it and colored it and was like, here it is.
It's going to be like time in a bottle.
I just have a feeling that it's going to be concept.
Yeah, I agree with you. Time in a bottle. Like
they're going to play like a pop song over it, and he's going to be like, "Don't stop me now," and he's going to be like catching babies.
Well, because that happens.
No,
it's going to be another pit bull. It's going to be
from ocean to ocean, and there's babies falling.
All right, we got a couple more people showing up right now.
That is the sexiest thing I have ever seen.
And that's originally for KC. But
hello.
Maggie here too.
Always for KC. It's all.
It's for you too. It's for you too.
Well, it's funny
when I smelled you.
Wait a minute.
I could smell your stench.
When I see that clip, I see KC always, and I'm like, it's for KC. It's always for KC. But it's justified because KC is beautiful.
Yeah, but it's for you too. I mean, I thought it was fitting for both. Okay.
All right. Is that you making it up for me because you haven't finished Wednesday?
Exactly. I'm drinking.
Hello, everybody. Hi,
hello.
Ryan.
I mean, of course, you guys' cameras aren't on, so we can't see.
Yeah, I know,
sexiness. Right? We can't see the sexy.
Well, when is Casey's camera off? I've never seen Casey without his camera on.
Yeah, I don't have a camera today. Unfortunately.
That's why he's late. He was like, "Damn it, I can't get my camera."
What happened?
Someone borrowed it for a project.
Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. Well, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? What are we talking about?
We're talking about the Flash.
Yeah.
We went from talking about Aaron's project, which we're all looking forward to, and the new motion comic, which is great. But then it led into, of course,
I have some good news, Dave. That baby scene is in the movie, and it was in the test screening.
No shit. Mm-hmm. You had to do that. Okay, so there is going to be the baby scene.
I love that scene. It's so Flash. Like, I don't know. It looks like from something that would be in an animated Flash scene.
No.
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
approving.
okay. Let's not get disappointed yet, Ryan. It could be something that could
also-
be pretty amazing. Could be pretty amazing.
The thing that's good about that, I don't know how many of you are keeping up with the test screenings and stuff, but the thing that's apparent in that concept art is that they are in the scene where Bruce was running on the ground.
Okay, so
and
that's during the 0
Yeah.
hour. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have Flash.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. We are gonna have Flash running through the 0 hour and BB,
Mhm.
basically beginning of BBS, saving people.
Yeah.
So his scene won't
So
be
they're all
as-
there somehow.
Yeah.
They're all in Metropolis.
All I
So
know.
his scene won't be as dark as Bruce's because obviously like there's babies.
Well, there
and it'll
would
be in
be if
slow
like he
motion.
accidentally didn't get one and it went splat.
So there's definitely going to be a
Jeez.
pop song in the scene. Is what you're telling me? Casey.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Listen.
No.
I will say this: if the Flash better deliver and Ezra Miller's performance better slay, or I'm going to be pissed.
Well, I've heard nothing but great things about Ezra's performance. I'm just saying.
Better
And this
be
is coming
good.
from
Says,
somebody who worked on the movie. I mean, obviously, that's just
I mean,
super
the
biased,
last thing I saw him was the Fantastic Beast, and he didn't do a good job in that either.
I mean, but that was like a side character. So this is the thing. Like
It
this
is a side character, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
aside
him
from
as Credence.
right, but besides his Ezra's role as in that there's something about Kevin. This will be like the second biggest, like just about like the main character, right? Ezra's playing not just the main character, but multiple different versions of that character. So seeing the acting range that Ezra can perform, like I literally went off on my stream. It was like, Ezra, make me believe you're 50 different people. Let me believe you got like a multiple personality thing going on. I need to feel that these are different people. I don't want it to be the same Barry Allen. Make me feel emotions, or I'm gonna literally be angry. The one thing about movies is you have a good movie, in my opinion, if you make me cry, laugh, or feel anger. Like if you make me feel any emotion, that's a good movie.
I think we're gonna feel all that in this movie. I have a feeling.
It's gonna be a lot of anger.
A lot of anger.
Well, that's when the credits pop.
Why is Keaton here? That's gonna be a lot of people.
No, I think
But
I
yes,
think the general audience is gonna love that Keaton's there. That's the thing.
Sure.
That's how they're gonna sell it big time too. Like,
well, that's why
see
I'm
Batfleck
sure that's why
riding
they
a
didn't do
bike.
Jeffrey D. Morgan. They were like,
Well,
no, Michael
yeah.
can put more butts in.
Everybody I've talked to that is not like as we are all on Twitter and following this stuff. Everybody I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, Michael Keaton's coming back for the Flash. That's awesome, dude. Like they don't care about like the drama, the studio stuff.
No, they have no idea what the hell's going on.
No, they're just
There's
like, cool.
drama. There's drama.
No, there's no
What?
drama. No. DC drama, really?
There's drama with the Flash? You don't say. Dave, have you heard this? This is news to me. What's the drama?
They're making a Flash
talked about
movie?
it. Never talked about it. On
Yeah,
film.
finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drama. Yeah, I know. That's what's going to be interesting too, especially with the whole Ezra Miller thing, pleading, the plea that he got, and then the fact that he's like, sorry, people.
It happens.
It does. I know. It's hard. It's hard, when your brain's like, pronouns, Jesus Christ. Anyways, but the fact that
Your Highness.
I know. The fact that, he got that, and then he's only going to get a, probation for a year, no jail time, and it's like, okay, good. Because obviously, I mean,
good on ya.
You've been more versed on the whole thing too. I even said that on Wednesday. I was like, I'm not as versed as it would, but I just know that a lot of things were blown way out of proportion when it came to stuff, and a lot of things were revealed that were not true, especially with the whole burglary thing. And it was like, wait a minute, Ezra knew that person, and blah blah blah.
Well, did you see the footage that dropped today? The courtroom. They actually.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw Flash Film News posted a screenshot. I didn't see the footage.
So I actually took a risk because usually the YouTube channel that dropped it first, I think it was like called Law and Crimes, the YouTube channel. They people warned me not to like show their stuff because they usually copyright strike. But I was like, you know what? My channel's in good standings. I can risk a strike right now. New year, let's go. So I reacted to some of it, and one of the key things that really stood out to me was when they were going over the conditions of the plea deal, because obviously they referred to the friend as the victim. So they had the victim's lawyer there and saying, yes, my client did review and does agree on the terms of the deal. So obviously when people were speculating that the state was actually the ones that were charging Ezra, it seemed like it was still like probably, you know, the friend who was also still, because like the friend had to agree to the plea deal, right? They agreed to the terms to not pursue it. And a couple things that they said before, the lawyer for the victim said, number one, the reason why they agreed to the plea deal was because they wanted to have privacy, which in my head I was like, your name and address has been literally in every news article attached to Ezra Miller. So I can't really understand the whole privacy aspect. I think that was a way of them saying, listen, Ezra's fans are crazy. I don't want to be harassed if I put Ezra in jail, whatever. Cool. The second thing was they also noted that they didn't want to ruin Ezra's career. And they didn't say that verbatim, but they were basically like, we don't want to pursue because, you know, we don't want Ezra's career to be impacted. So, and then the third stipulation was that Ezra continued their mental health treatment. So I thought that when I heard that, I was like, okay, the friend understood that Ezra really didn't mean any harm, and their intention wasn't to like actually have them do jail time. It was kind of like their way of saying like, okay, this is like maybe your intervention, like you need help, and we, you know, this is what I have to do to get you to see how far you've gone, then I'll do it. But the plea deal was interesting, and I think that was really crazy how the internet has responded to it, because, you know, Ezra admitted guilt, they're guilty, see, they're guilty, and I'm like, first of all, you understand, you're right. I'm like, you understand plea deals, like. I brought this up before. There are people who have been innocent, and if yeah, sounds about right. There are people who have been innocent, who've taken plea deals because their trial didn't look good on their favor. They were innocent, but the charges again didn't look good in their favor, and they take a plea deal so they don't have to do severe time. It happens, but again, it's a good thing because they are taking accountability. People are thinking that, they got off. I'm like, they didn't get off. They got a slap on the wrist, but they didn't get off. Probation is not fun for anyone. Like, if people think probation's fun, it's not. Like, you don't have to sit in a cell with a bunch of other criminals who've done worse things than you. Sure, but it's also not fun to be on probation. Like,
you have to know. Like be wary of every little move you make. It's right. Like if Ezra wants to like go out and, you know, have a couple drinks, you know, and just chill, that could, you know, somebody
he can't choke somebody in a
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, you know, you got to be very careful of what you do.
Right. Yeah. You can't get in trouble at all. You have to report to the parole officer. Listen, the only crime Ezra committed with that chair incident was the aim was really off. Okay, the aim was off. It was meant to hit somebody else, and it unfortunately hit a young lady that was standing next to the person.
Ezra's got to practice, man.
Yeah, they got stormtrooper aim. What do you expect? They need to be a Star Wars movie, be a stormtrooper. Although I did learn something new. When I saw that footage. They kept calling Ezra Mr. Miller. And I was like, wait, is there yeah. But I said, well, here's the thing. After they got through that, they said,
doesn't really care that much, you know.
I mean, well, they asked, what do you prefer to be called? And I learned a new term. It's Mix Miller. And I was like, what the
Miller?
Mix MX Mix Miller. I didn't know that there was a non-binary term for Mr. and Mrs. Nice. I learned something new.
Wow.
Yeah,
I never heard of that either. Wow.
I would have never guessed it. I was like, what? Because I asked my chat, I was like, what the hell is non-binary for Mr. and Mrs.? And then they said Mix Miller.
Yeah. Mine's RX because I'm.
That sounds like a DJ though.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Ezra Mix a lot.
Take it, Casey. We know you DJ. You know, Mix Miller. There you go. Like it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because I've been looking forward to this damn Flash movie for.
I've been looking forward to that damn Flash trailer since 7 years.
Oh, dude, I know.
Super Bowl,
when is that trailer gonna come out?
I can't believe it's gonna be like, you know, Super Bowl. I mean, I love that, you know, they're gonna do that whole thing where they go like they show 30 seconds and then
watch
they go through the first. Watch the.
So look at all the money we threw down for this.
You're
Dude,
gonna love it.
but again, and we and I keep emphasizing this is the fact that it's like, all right, there's gonna be they're obviously gonna show Keaton, a lot of Keaton heavy because then there's gonna be people that are gonna be heavy on the. Oh my God, that's the Batman I know. You know,
I thought Keaton was out. I thought Keaton was out though.
Are you okay? Calm your tits. So, yeah, of course. Okay, so I think they're gonna do like the Star Wars trailer. You know how to had Chewie and Han at the end. You know, like Chewie, we're home. I think it's gonna be something like that where Michael Keaton's at the end and you get to hear a line.
Let's get nuts.
it's gonna be.
Listen, as long as they don't ruin the entire movie. I hate when they do that in trailers. Dave, you know that because you're the movie guy, dude. When if they ruin this movie with the trailer,
Is there
I'm
anything
going
left to ruin?
Well, not for us.
For like general people.
Yeah.
Maybe a Henry Cavill appearance.
It's Doomsday. He's back somehow.
Oh, I know. Somehow they just show like Henry Cavill Superman. It's like, what the fuck? Salt?
If they
wound?
show him in the trailer, I'll be happy because I'll know at least he'll be in the movie then.
Like Sasha Calle and the Flash will, like pop in and see Henry. Not again, and then they pop back out. And they're like,
She really needs to be in the trailer.
She needs to be.
Sasha
needs to be highlighted so much.
Yes.
She'll be in the trailer.
Well, you know what's sad? You know what's sad though is that like we won't see Henry Cavill Superman with Sasha because they're introducing Supergirl.
Oh, I know.
And we won't see that now.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. It sucks.
I blame
They're
Aaron.
going with a younger
Aaron, it's your
Superman,
fault.
and he'll be younger than Sasha.
It's Aaron's fault. We're gonna blame Aaron when they don't show Henry Cavill in this.
It is
trailer.
true, yeah.
Oh,
You know what's crazy? I had
We're doing a motion comic after this one. It's called Day of the Superman.
We're planning series of motion comics.
Yeah, I know exactly.
What do you got? Blackface the Flash, Ryan?
I'm gonna hold you guys to it. I wouldn't be surprised after Aaron's comic comes out. You know, there could be something else. You guys can collaborate.
By the way, since we have Ryan here, I have to be fair because last time it was Nicotina, but Ryan, I want to say congratulations on the motion picture.
Oh yeah, thanks.
You guys did a great job. F the haters. It was amazing. I watched it and I supported it.
There was no haters.
Oh, there's always haters. I actually shilled it. I actually promoted it on my channel and on Twitter. I was like, you guys out there, you Snyder bros, you want your story. There are people out there doing it for you. Go check it out. There's great people behind it.
You can't touch it, Saggy. Can't touch that.
It's the highest viewed video that we have. It's over 90K, and we
time to sell it to Netflix.
We are. There's the hashtag sell Justice League motion comic to Netflix.
I'm starting that now.
Yeah. I mean, because it's an IP apparently, and we own it. And
dude, I'm already getting flack, and I've just posted like images.
Yeah,
and I'm already getting.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm already getting people going like, you don't have the right to tell this story.
I saw some of that.
And
well, that's one of the things I brought up too when it came to this, the new hashtag, which is, I mean, like I thought when I talked about it, and I'm like, okay, so obviously we've talked about it ad nauseum with the whole thing about selling it to Netflix, and I'm like, well, first off, I would have chose Amazon because I think they will fork over the money more than Netflix. They're canceling.
They have The Boys and Invincible. I think they're good.
I think, why not? But they bought Lord of the Rings. They did.
They threw all their money away with Lord of the Rings.
They definitely did. They could back it up.
But the thing that's stupid about that too is like people again, it's basic business understanding of like these are businesses first, people. They need to make money. They need to make money so they can continue to work and make these projects. So selling their top rating and top performing financial properties to license them out to Netflix so that Netflix can get the money, that's stupid. Like they don't have to go the Marvel route because they're not bankrupt yet.
Yeah.
Especially when Gunn is making a new one.
Yeah.
Well, I will. That's why they're throwing so much money at the Flash, is because they need this money here for these 4 films to fund.
I will say in favor. Look, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think WB is ever going to sell things the Snyderverse to Netflix. But I do think that would be a way for Warner Brothers to kind of have their cake and eat it too, because they're getting Gunn to make his own universe, so they're putting out their own blockbuster films with his stuff. Whether they do good or not, we don't know. Mm-hmm. But he's doing his own universe, and then if they were to, I don't think it's gonna happen, but if they sell the rights to Netflix, they're making money from selling the rights to Netflix to make some stuff with the Snyderverse. So they're getting money from Gunn's films and from the sale of the Snyderverse rights to Netflix.
Yeah, but they're also undercutting what they just did, right? And that's announcing Gunn and Saffron and saying, hey, we're going to create this brand new thing, and we're not really going to get behind it because we're going to sell this over here, and then you know, so we don't have full confidence,
and it's going to be connected.
Yeah,
throughout all mediums.
Well, here's another thing. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to get my Snyder bro brain on.
Do
okay, Snyder bro brain. All right.
We all have done that. Yeah.
Here's the thing. If Zack Snyder's projects on Netflix, like Rebel Moon, continuing the Army of the Dead stuff, if that does very, very well, there may be a slim chance that they might be like,
for everything.
Yeah, there's a possibility for everything. Like if Zack Snyder can perform well, maybe they'll be like, and James Gunn being there might be like, hey, like we saw what you did over at Netflix.
If Rebel Moon does bang like for them, like fucking like buku numbers, what that does is they're like, let's fucking double down on Rebel Moon. Let's grow this out. And if it flops and it sucks, then it's like, we don't want you for Justice League.
Who's hyped for Las Vegas?
Because in Hollywood, you're only as good as your last project.
Me?
What's that?
I'm hyped.
Who's hyped for Las Vegas, right?
I'm totally hot.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dude, I'm ready.
I am anxious to continue this Army universe. Like,
yeah.
Well,
obviously, because that's the thing is like about Zack Snyder is the fact of the matter is like he didn't just like, oh hey, yeah, let's have a zombie movie in Vegas and then that's it. No, he like went, oh, well, I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to put this in there. There's so many questions. I mean, the guy showed up when we did a full-on discussion after it premiered, and he would not. Of course, he was very nonchalant.
See, I thought I was naive, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to ask him about the time travel stuff in person and see if if he'll tell me in confidence, like, yeah, there's like some aliens.
He pulls you, see sidebars you.
Yeah. So I like.
It's because Dawson was around, and Dawson was like, "Oh, really?"
I was like, so what's up with that? And he was like, I don't know, man. Could be anything. And I was like,
oh yeah, he's very good at that.
I will say this because I see William going in the chat, and I will say this to William because William was saying that like a limited 6 episodes would end. I'm guessing he's saying to the Snyderverse stuff. It's like, this is Zack Snyder. 6 episodes? The movie was 4 hours, William. You think that he's gonna wrap up this story in 6 episodes?
It would take 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Right. That would be a whole like Game of Thrones season.
And on top of that, dude, Henry just got like fucking
totally
told the day after he was told to put his statement out there. He gets embarrassed and has to put another statement out and says, I was told to do that shit. He's not going to come back, even if it's like, hey Zach, hey, you want to come over and do
that? Was the one
like,
thing
nah,
that
dude, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Wait, no, hold on, wait a minute. You can't fool me again.
You did a very good. You did a very good W. Bush right there.
There you go. You're welcome. Hey, we're right here.
That's the one thing about this whole movement. I would say is the only slight possibility it would have is if it was in animated form, because that's something that's not live action and would not contradict
they already had
universe.
Jim Lee was already drawing covers and shit, right? And they were going to, it looked like they were going to continue.
The thing about that is though, would the actors come back?
They probably would.
To voice the character?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Would Cavill, Affleck, and all of them come back?
It'd be an easy.
And would Zach want to come back and do that?
I think Affleck would.
You could.
I think Affleck would.
But we have it in animated form. It's the motion comic.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Affleck definitely would. Because his main thing is he doesn't want to do it in live action. He doesn't want to do a full feature film as Batman.
He doesn't want to wear that 30-pound bat suit again.
He doesn't want to do any physical acting, but a voice acting. Oh, he would definitely come back.
Well, he should come back for my project then.
There you
I
go.
should get a hold of him.
Come back.
You know who you should get
He's
for
working at Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Yeah, he needs the money, right?
Hey, he's back with J-Lo. I think he's doing very well for himself right now.
Aaron, you should hit up Citron. Citrone, man. He did
And
an
would Ray
amazing
Fisher come
Batman, and he's got the cadence for it, because he had to act opposite of Leto. And
Did he
he's
do-
a really sweet guy, man.
Wait, did he do something for the motion comic?
He was Batman.
He was Batman in the motion.
Dude,
comic.
I knew I recognized the freaking voice.
So we got Batman for the role. So yeah, I mean he's a legit. And we got
dude.
Cyborg's mom. She's. Am I
Yeah.
not supposed to be saying this stuff?
You have
I mean, it's already out.
Too
Dude.
late
It's already
now.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we got Karen Bryson. She played Hippolyta. So, and we got a couple other from Ray Fisher. He said to go ask Coker to play Superman, and so we got him. And I mean, we have a lot of people that
Dude,
were
Dave,
but
Ohio
Citrone
Dave
for your
nailed
Batman thing
Cyborg.
would be awesome.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Ohio
Dave.
Dave, yeah,
Dave,
yeah.
You
killed
didn't
Dave.
ask
Well,
me,
he's got
Ryan.
he has that cadence in his voice.
But
that
Yeah.
whoever
really
did
good.
Aquaman, that was fucking phenomenal. It was the best.
Mhm.
You don't know who
Sure.
I
Yeah, I didn't really like that. I didn't really like Aquaman's voice.
All right, I gotta
And
go.
plus, you whitewashed him. You whitewashed him apparently.
Well, apparently, I was like, and Andre was like, they weren't even talking about you, dude. They were talking about like his complexion.
His
and I was like,
complexion
what?
was Too light.
That wasn't me.
Oh,
I didn't
God.
color him. I just drew it. So.
Listen, you
I
didn't
drew
ask
Jason.
me.
Ryan
I
You
drew
didn't ask me.
Jason.
Ryan, why didn't you ask me? I would have did the voice of Flash. I could have been Ezra Miller.
He needed to be a little bit more nerdy, so we did go with Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson was good.
Oh,
He
Dawson
did
did Flash.
Dawson
Oh,
was
I
the
didn't
Flash.
recognize that. I
Yeah,
didn't recognize the
Dawson did a
voice.
I knew
Flash.
that was.
He did a good
I heard it the first time. Didn't even look at the credits. I was like, that is Dawson.
I didn't even notice.
Anthony was Will Smith.
Yeah.
It wasn't Deadshot. He was Will Smith.
Lols.
Yeah,
Lols.
his audition was keep my wife's. No, sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, but he did a good dead shot. He did a good.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
No,
No,
I know.
Yeah, no, and of course, we had Darkseid in it, and that was fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually Ray Porter. Like it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, okay, yeah. It was like
Originally, he narrated the whole thing, but we had a discussion with him, and he felt it better that we go with someone else, and we did. We got
Cortez.
Oh my God, Cortez. Yes,
Yeah,
Geraldo Cortez.
Yeah,
And he did a phenomenal job. He did like 3 different accents for us,
Yeah.
and we went with American accent because it's an American movie. And but he also did Australian,
Racist.
and he what?
Whitewash.
America's a race. Okay.
ethnicist, whatever the hell. No. But it was like one of those things where it was like when Porter was on, when we were talking about it that one time,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like, "Hey Ray, so you did a good." I was like, I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
well,
mention-"
It was
Yeah.
one line, and we were like,
Yeah.
we could find somebody else, but it was. We took out everything else that he did, which was phenomenal. To have
Yeah.
Darkseid read the whole thing, we were
Yeah.
like, damn. But when he said that, we are like, okay, we're gonna honor what you said and everything. So, but there was only one line that the Darkseid had, and we're like, hey, let's just put that in there. So
Yeah, it was like one of those things where I was like, yeah, because I remember like when the first round happened and all that kerfuffle that happened, and I was just kind of like going, okay, so I wasn't sure how much Ray was involved with the newer version, so that's why when Ray was on, when we were talking that one time, I was like the Christmas one, and I was like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything. Are you okay? Somebody get hurt?
I
something.
banged my hand on my computer desk. I didn't think my microphone picked that up. I tried to be quiet.
That was funny. I heard
He's like, so we had a meeting with Ray, and we played for him the film or the the project, and with his voice and all that, and the visuals and everything, and he saw like maybe a couple minutes of it, and he was like, okay, you can stop there. I get what you're doing, because nobody knew what it was before we showed it. And he was like, I think what you're doing is fantastic, but just for future projects with Warner Brothers or whatever, just I'd rather not. And we're like, okay, I get it. That's
makes sense.
That's fine.
I get it. I get it too. Yeah, I know, because I know like Harry Lennox was involved at one point.
He was Aquaman.
Yeah.
And so I sort of matched my cadence with him because
You
Andre-
sound just like Harry Leonard.
yeah, oh yeah.
I can't tell the difference sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I watched the Matrix Revolutions like 3 times, and I was like, I got this. But because Andre did not want me to like, you know, do a Jason Momoa. He was like, I don't want you to talk like, you know, like dress like a man. Yeah, oh yeah, rise not over, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
he don't want me
dress
to
like a
like,
man.
you know. Yeah, I dig it. So I was like, okay, fine. He was like, yeah, just sound more kingly, and I was like, oh, okay, so normal. And it's
Perfect.
perfect, yes. Perfect.
No.
Perfect.
Another one.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was good.
Oh my god, I can't believe you just went there. And another one.
Another one. God, I can't stand that guy. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. No, but I mean,
yeah, it was
yeah.
good.
No, I mean, yeah, it was just, yeah. It was like one of those things where it was like, guess the voice,
Mm.
because there wasn't exactly a credits that showed like who was doing.
That was one of the reasons why we didn't do that, because we didn't want
Okay.
to upset or offend or anything like that.
I noticed that because you had names and it was like, okay, recognize the names, but it was never
See,
like
I'm taking
like
notes
Megan, she was
Mira.
Mira.
Yeah.
And she did a phenomenal job as Mira. So I
Yeah.
mean, you know, we had, God, who I hope I'm not forgetting. I know there's more actors.
Well, obviously,
Marty
Allie
was
was great.
Marty was
Allie
fantastic.
great. Yeah, I know
he
because
was
we
the
had
star
Allie
for
on
first
the
half.
stream too,
Mhm.
and I wasn't sure exactly. I was like, did she play?
We had Samantha Wren.
Oh, that's right. We did.
And then so again, it was the same sort of thing. When we lost Ray, we lost everybody because they were just like, okay, if he's not doing it, we're not doing it. And then, you know, after that, you know, we sort of like started, you know, getting momentum and kind of getting it back. And after we released the first one with no actor, with no voice talent in it, a lot of them kind of came back and were like, yeah, okay, it's fine. We know what this is now. You can use our voice. And because we had already got, you know, Geraldo's voice for the narration, we're like, no, we're using him. We're not going to substitute him for Ray. So we were like, if anything, we'll just use that one line from Ray, and that's good enough.
Yeah. See what you have to look forward to, Aaron.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here taking notes. I'm just like, okay, yeah, because I mean, I've had so many people reach out to me about doing voice, like really talented, just people in the community.
I want to say, did Dawson vie for being Batman, the voice of Batman? Because he tried that
was
with
my
us.
first choice.
It was your first choice?
Yeah. Because then he just, you know, when you hear Dawson, you just hear Ben Affleck.
Yeah. we're like
oh,
Riddler.
It's just when I first met him, he said, "Hey, Aaron," and I was like, "Ben Affleck?" and it wasn't Ben Affleck, and I was like, "Damn."
You know, my son does a really good young Ben Affleck.
Really?
We had to move him because he did the voice for Batman, and we had to move him because of Citrone. Because like if you get Citrone, you know, so he did it, and he did a phenomenal job. He sounded too young though, but he had the whole cadence of you know Ben's Batman, and he did a really good job.
The problem I'm running into is that mine is structured a little bit differently than the motion comic because I'm having to like, I don't have anything to like base it off of. So a lot of mine is dialogue, like a lot of mine is dialogue. And so I've got to get people that can do like really long reads.
Is it going to be like that the animated series with what's his name, Green? Is that the guy's name? Where he's like, you know, his Batman is very, very wordy. Like I don't want to, you know, I'm going to beat you to a pulp, and then I'm going to have, you know, it's just like, okay,
it's a lot of like inner thoughts of Batman where it's his voice you're hearing.
Yeah,
you're hearing his voice in his mind.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of he's got a. I really wanted to write because Zach has had in BVS and in his Justice League an Alfred Bruce moment.
Yeah,
there's an Alfred Bruce moment in BVS with "He Is Not Our Enemy," and then you've got in Justice League you've got all the King's Horses speech, but the red cape or the cape punches back and all that. And I was like, I want one of those in my project.
Yeah,
with Alfred and Bruce, and it's basically Bruce talking to Alfred before he goes to Arkham, and Alfred being like, "You know this is a trap, right?" You know, Scarecrow wants you to go there.
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, what other choice do I have?
He's like,
Yeah.
it's fishy swallow, sir. It's
And
supposed
he's like, do I face?
Ooh.
He's like, do I face my fear, or do I let people get harmed? And
do what Simon says.
yeah. It's,
no, I mean, I'm curious to see. I mean, obviously, try to find somebody who sounds. I mean, Jeremy Irons has.
Well, I was on the
very
phone with
distinct-
Jeremy, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah,
So
yeah."
I tried to do that. So if you go back to Project Justice League, the first one, that's me as Alfred, and then we had Sam Benjamin, who is actually British, and he did it, and so we were like, okay, well,
yeah, having somebody with an actual accent.
yeah.
But I mean, but he's got a certain just something, this cadence in his voice that that's
ska.
yeah,
Mr. Wayne?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he
Mr. Wayne.
I'm
Mr.
working
Wayne.
on a special like cameo right now, and I'm gonna try to make it happen. Yeah, I posted about it. I immediately was like, I probably shouldn't have tweeted that out.
Yeah, I know. I saw your tweet. You're like, you're working on. Trying to get
I was like,
somebody
I
involved.
should go back and delete that just in case that doesn't pan out. Just but that would be cool if that happens. But most of the, I'm not even like thinking about voices right now.
So
like,
you're trying to
be
get
honest.
J.K. Simmons. How's that going?
Yeah, he hadn't got back to me yet, and I'm trying to get Ben on the project and
Yeah.
stuff.
Man, so if yours is very dialogue heavy, what are you going to use for like equalization, mixing, stuff like that? Like,
I don't actually know that because
Okay.
I'm not an audio guy at all. I'm visual 100%. I've got a couple people that are really good at that though that are going to help me out with it, I think. So because that's just not my forte, like audio stuff. I'm not like KC here, who's like a Mr. Audio and DJ guy. Know nothing about
Hire him.
it. Casey.
I know, right?
Yeah,
That's who's involved. That's what he was talking about.
Oh
I
yeah,
knew.
he it's very
A
very
secret
nice segue.
cameo.
dude, and no, but his editing too. He does really good editing. Get some of the stuff you edit, Casey, is like crazy, dude. I love it.
Oh,
Thanks,
Casey does good fucking like
Yeah.
when he does those edits, and I mean
Little
obviously
shorts,
when it came to the Black Adam edits, those things
Apparently that meant nothing.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So bad. I mean, I know. That's got. I mean, and one of the things too, I was gonna like make a joke about. Yeah, don't promise a release date until you have all your pieces.
I immediately regretted. People were asking me the release date, and I immediately regretted putting 2023 even on the poster.
That's very ambitious.
Okay, but that's reasonable because it's January. It's the middle of January. You got a lot of time. But then hear Ryan's laughter right there. Obviously.
We wouldn't have been able to I'm sorry, but it was a year and a half of working. And like I said, life takes over.
But it's okay because even the studios don't even know what the fuck is going on. They push things out for a year.
Well, here's my thought process on it, and this is the thing for me is like I said 2023 because I'm the type of person if I don't make myself say when this is going to be done, I will not. It helps me focus and it helps me push myself to get it out by then.
Yeah.
And if some strange thing were to happen and I'd have to push it, which is fine. At least I know my goal is 2023.
Good.
And I've held myself accountable to that by posting it and putting it on the poster. So
yeah, so we had target dates and we missed them all. But
I'm getting so inspired right now. I'm just
it wasn't until like we were at the finish line where we were like, we'll just work on the last shot I was working on was the Suicide Squad, just drawing them.
Yeah.
And that was the last shot of what we did. And then we're like, okay, we can say December 25th. Let's say that because we tried to do the November 12th or the
17th
and the 17th. And we tried another date in December, but we didn't we didn't share it with anybody. It was just internal. But see, the thing is that like the people that we were working with had other things going on and back up all your shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I do that
Externally.
anyway. Yeah.
And because I mean, save early, save often.
Yeah.
And because there was a couple things that like my stuff crashed or whatever, like mid drawing, and even though there was some of it I could recover, like if there was one, it was like it didn't back up like in time, and so I had to like basically just draw the whole damn thing again. And it was
that's the trouble with rendering too, is that basically like, because I'm trying to output it at a certain size, and I have to render it at a certain size because otherwise it just doesn't like mesh well. It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And so when I'm rendering, I'm literally just like, I've got the scene, I'm rendering stuff out, and then like it takes about like 2 hours usually to render like a full scene, and that's before I composite anything. So sometimes it'll just be rendering, and I'd see the bar disappear, and I'm like, oh god. Oh dude, it's like an hour and a half into it, and I'm like, what is going on? And then thank god I'm like, oh, it just got covered up, but it will crash. I mean, it crashes, and I have a decent computer, but it's not that great. Like,
dude, I mean, yeah, it's I can't even imagine like when it comes to like these VFX houses. I mean, obviously they have the like top of the line shit, but imagine
and they have
like,
render farms and all that.
Yes, and all that stuff. But I mean, imagine, it's not flawless. This shit's not flawless. I mean, it never is. I mean, even just like doing videos, sometimes shit will just be like,
YouTube. I used
your
to do
computer
YouTube.
just goes, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that right now, and then just like,
I just realized this is a home PC.
Yeah.
Originally, I had experimented.
This isn't Word.
I had experimented with doing it in motion, like because the software I use actually lets me do like motions rendering, and I was like, I tried it, and I was like, dude, this is gonna take, because it renders out instead of one whole image, frame by frame.
Ooh.
Right. What you can
can
do with that is open up Premiere, and you can or After Effects, and you can keyframe, and then that way you can go to like the beginning and the end, and then just like half it in the middle, and then sort of section it off until you get a fluid transition or animation. Like if you wanted the arm to raise or lower, you can get it and then set up the Bezier.
I think a lot of it's my software, because I use what's called Daz Studio to do my rendering.
Dad Studio?
DAZ. I use it to do my rendering in, because it's a lot faster than Blender for me, because I have trouble with Blender. But yeah, Daz, it's pretty good, but it's got like limitations. It's got a lot of like, I have to work around stuff, and like instead of being able to smoothly do what I want to do. Yeah. But all my stuff's in it. I have tons of models that are imported into it. So it's kind of
so your Batman model, is that a Daz file?
Converted from a Blender file, yeah.
From Blender. And I know Ganesh has modeled Jared Leto's Joker.
Well, Ganesh and I actually were talking forever ago about it was an earlier version of what I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. And I got in a hold of him because I loved his Deathstroke Batman thing. And I actually asked him, I was like, dude, would you mind letting me use your Batman model? And he was like, yeah, dude. Like, he was super gracious about it. He was like, go ahead, man. He says, just drop me credit. And I was like, yeah. And that file, he does incredible work, because
the ships from Apocalypse, those are his.
Yeah,
those were his. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say,
no, he's
I was
phenomenal.
really amazed by that.
Yeah, I talked to Andre about that, and he was talking about that he did a lot of stuff, and I was like, dude, but he sent me that Batfleck model, and I imported it into my software, and it was so detailed and so large that like my program couldn't handle it.
He sent us 8K shit, and we were like, dude, what the fuck
8K?
is wrong with you? Yeah, and I was like, I had to like re-render it in 1080p for Andre, because Andre couldn't look at it.
His Batfleck model has pores, man. It's got it's got like, you can zoom in to that level of detail.
Okay, so that's
my model.
You can see his mole.
Yeah, you can literally see the Batfleck model. My model is it's really good quality, but it's not film quality like his is. So mine works, and it's good for what I'm doing. And if you've noticed from the stills, there's a stylized kind of aspect to it a little bit. Like
it's in the dark.
Yeah. That's why it's set in Arkham at night. That's why it's called Night of the Batman.
Yeah.
To save
he's
on
like,
rendering.
I could have done one in the day, but this one.
No, the details just
It's all about the dark.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wow,
it's
dude,
it takes so much for me to like get like one frame of stuff. So I'm like 2023. We're gonna push for it. We're gonna try.
Okay.
You know what? We won't hold.
believe in
We'll
you.
hold it against you. We won't hold against you if it ends up.
I
being
will.
2020. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Shaggy
I
will for sure.
Thank you for
No, but
holding
you
me
know what?
accountable.
But you know what's so great though is the fact that like, hey, we can actually do this shit from our homes. That's what's so crazy about this. Like, you guys have been, we're all doing stuff, even like, editing videos and whatever the hell. It's the fact that we can actually do this stuff on our computers now. I mean, that was not something that happened like 15 years ago. It was like, I remember how I learned editing was in my video production class in high school. And it was like a whole big deck. It was like, it wasn't like, that sounded weird. A whole big deck. I'm glad I sounded that out as I did. Anyways, Mr. Johnson, that's what my teacher's name was.
Well, he had the big deck.
Yeah, he did. He had a big deck.
What kind of school was this, Dave?
I know, right? It got a little weird right now. Yeah. I'm just saying. No, but like, and it was nothing was digital. It was all just, recorded on tapes and everything like that. And then that's how I learned editing was on like one of those things. And now it's all just click, click.
Because we had to like capture footage.
Yeah.
And then transfer it over. It was a whole process to import the footage and make it a digital file.
Yeah.
In order to get it into the software for
you had to convert it. You had to have a converter to do all that. Yeah.
Yes.
See, you're making me feel really young right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I gotta go.
You're making me feel super young.
It's past my bedtime.
Ryan and I are up there. We're up there in a little age,
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I shot my first the film in. Well, I used to use PXL, PXL camera. PXL, yeah. But we shot in Digital 8. And that was 720, and that was like the standard of the day. And then like right after I was done with my last project, then 1080p came out, and it was HD and all that.
That sounds insane to hear. Is like 1080p came out.
Yeah,
they just dropped 1080p, guys. Like,
and then like a couple years later, the first like red camera surfaced, and that was the thing to get, and whatever. And it was just like. I was like, okay, I gave up at that point. I was like, no, I can't, I can't financially keep up with all this.
Speaking of cameras, something that I actually didn't talk about really was the fact, and I can talk about this, but like the seeing Zach's lenses that he puts on these cameras in person was absolutely insane to me, because these are different ones that he's used on Army. And they're custom, and it was like,
oh yeah. On the Vodka stream, when, like I said, that night when we were talking about Army of the Dead, he fucking just like, got up and left his little room that he had. He was wearing his pajama pants, which was fun. And then he came out and he just was like showing the different lenses.
Oh, good. Okay. So,
yeah,
we've seen the lenses.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good. Don't
worry. You're not ready for Rebel Moon.
He's actually shown them on.
You're not ready.
So,
well, that's funny. Fine. That was literally one of the things that Dawson and I talked about. We were like, what can we say? And I was like, I'm just gonna say you're not ready. I'm just gonna keep saying that.
Yeah,
you're not ready.
That a lot.
People are like, people are like, so like, what about? I'm like, you're not ready. You're just, that's it. It's like, but Zach, it was funny because like everybody was asking him questions and stuff, and then I was like, dude, I want to know about the lenses, and he was like, oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that guy loves
lenses. And one of his one of the people on the set went and actually grabbed it from where they were filming and brought it over, and Zach's like showing it, and he almost dropped it, which was my heart stopped.
Remember, you said that. Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, yeah, and Debbie's like, Zach, that's a lot of money, and he's like, I know. Yeah, it was so cool, but like seeing that in person, and you don't realize like how much goes into stuff like this, like because I've only seen it from one side, and even doing this like Night of the Batman thing, I'm realizing, and like what you're talking about, Ryan, the amount of work that just goes into something like this is
Andre just asked me today. He was like, "Would you like to do another one?" And I was like,
I'm tired.
"Yeah, dude. Like, I'm working on my own thing right now, and then maybe." Because he was like, "What if we do the Suicide Squad?" You know, because we're never going to get the haircut. And I was like, "Okay, but we don't."
Dude,
really
it's coming
know
out in
the story."
2022.
We just got a truth on here. You might see an haircut project.
It may be. We'll see.
Suicide Squad. Oh,
Project Suicide Squad. There you go. You heard it here first. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna reverse the Rick Flag X-ray shot of him getting stabbed in the heart. We're gonna have the Flash come in there and just kind of like block the.
Are you going to show Superman going to the
He's
ICU?
gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah. We need the ICU Superman scene to really feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna show that, and Idris is gonna be like.
It's one of those things where it's like, don't rush it. Don't rush it, and just eventually maybe get to it. I mean, I we all know Andre. He's a little,
Yeah, he's a lot.
we know that, but just give it some time.
Yeah.
When you get done with whatever you're working on, maybe go like, all right, let's start talking about something like that. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what I'm working on.
Okay.
Exclusive, I guess. The painting that Lex has of the Angels and Demons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've replaced the Angels and Demons with Batman characters and Superman characters.
Nice.
And so that's what I'm working on currently. When I get done with that, I'll release that, and hopefully,
I was about to say, would this be on sale?
It will be on sale.
Okay.
It will be on sale. It's my first big piece that I'm doing, and I'm like, after, because when I started doing the motion comic, I'm an artist, but I wasn't really into I was already working on my own comic book, which is going to be what I work on after this, and then so I was a little rusty because I hadn't drawn in a while, and so but I had my my drawing pad here, and I had another drawing pad in the other room, and I was like, man, this gives me an excuse to work on and refine skills. And so that's why I was like, yes, I want to draw. I want to be the only artist, since there won't be any controversy on what I'm drawing. And then, I can refine my skills until I'm ready to do my things. And so now I'm at that point, and that's why I told Andre today, I was like, if we do one, it's not gonna be now. But I'm not against doing a Suicide Squad.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So it could be something. I mean, in 2023, we're gonna get this Batfleck thing, right? So
Yeah. Hell or High Water is gonna release.
Yeah, coming out. Yeah, coming out. Well, it's funny because I had people that were like, no AI is going to be involved in your.
The AI art thing.
And now Andre gives me grief about it, but like in a fun way. But like there's literally people that were like. So since you use AI all the time, and I'm like, I did not do that, but okay. I have 3D software. I can do things like that. I know how to use ZBrush. It's not.
Yeah, ZBrush is amazing.
It's like, and there were still people like, I posted stills of this, and they would reply, is this AI? Yes, it's a photorealistic thing of Batfleck standing something, doing something. Yeah, totally AI. Look at his hands. He has 5 fingers. They're not messed up. It's not AI.
I know. AI art, like when you do all that stuff, I haven't even used it yet. I'm scared. Like, I know people are like, oh yeah, look at me as AI art.
I'm staying away from it because people already try to accuse me of that. I'm like, I'm not gonna even touch it. Like,
if you don't need it,
no, I don't have any reason to, but it's just it was so funny that
I came back at the wrong time. I heard somebody accused me of it and something about touching it, and I was like, wait, what the fuck?
So we were talking about the Johnson and the big dick.
Yeah.
Okay, because that sounded sus as hell when I was like, wait.
Talking about my my high school teacher. Oh man, suppressed memories. That's all. No. Mr. Johnson was great. He was one of my favorite teachers. He was great. No.
Okay, you're canceled now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson's like, I watch your streams. What are you talking about?
Maybe he does. Hey, Mr. Johnson. Anyways,
my dick's not that big.
I mean, Netflix is watching too, so we got Mr. Johnson and Netflix. We got everybody. We got everybody watching now.
They're like, somebody get Snyderverse on the horn.
Yeah. Way to go, Snyderverse. Yeah.
I don't know. I need more cowbell.
I got a sickness, and the only prescription
is more cowbell.
more of that cowbell.
More
Come on.
Snyderverse. Yeah.
More of
Oh
that
my god, I was
Snyderverse.
about to say the most dumbest thing ever. I was gonna be like, Ryan, like, did you get like a vodka stream type of like thing in your room? And I'm like, oh, that's the friggin' logo for the StreamYard. Oh my god. I thought you had like a statue of the logo in the back.
I got
threw
one
me off.
printed. Yeah.
I sent him
Dave
that,
sent it to me,
Baggy.
yeah.
I sent him a shot of me holding my vodka bottle.
I was
and,
like, oh, I want one. And then I was like, wait, that I was looking, and then he moved his head a little too close. I was like, oh, it's
lights
not
up.
mine.
It lights up.
Well, it's okay because like I've broken. I literally have never actually. I've drank on the vodka stream, but never had vodka on the vodka stream, and that's my favorite alcohol, and I don't know why I
it's
haven't done that.
clean.
Dave is waiting for the day that I actually come on the vodka stream and drink. Because every time I'm on, I'm the only one. Well, not the only one, but
No,
I'm
you're not the
usually
only
not
one.
drinking.
I had Fireball tonight. That was my drink of choice. Fireball, and Diet Coke.
Oh,
Dave
man.
like wants
Diet Coke.
Dave wants
Yeah.
to see me drunk on a stream. Dave wants to see me drunk on a stream. Like, listen, in person,
Mexican
only
Coke.
because I'm more fun in person drinking. But when I'm alone, I'm a mess. I'll be like,
I'll
Well,
never. I will
first time
never
I had
drink
you
alone.
on, you were like, no. I was like, no. You were like drinking like I forgot where you were drinking the first time you came on.
Do you know I was nervous? Did you know I was nervous the first time I
you
was
told me.
invited?
You said that was one of the first things you said. He was like, I was nervous. I was like, no, don't be. Drink whatever. It's fine.
Listen, you're a big deal. Okay?
No,
You're a big
yeah,
deal.
such a big deal.
I do remember. I was like, I messaged Dave like forever ago, and I was like, dude, I'd love to come on the vodka stream sometime. That'd be rad. And then the first time I came out, it was just like, dude, this is so much fun, and like everybody's so cool.
Relax.
It's such a good idea. Like it's such a good idea.
Let's relax.
Chill.
It's
Talking
like,
about
yeah.
shit we like and having a drink. That's
no.
the best.
Dave and I vibed right away. I think the first time I talked to you was on Matt's channel with somebody else. And that was the first time I talked to you. And I'm very like, Ryan will tell you, because Ryan.
She's a lot. She's a lot.
Yeah, I'm a lot. And when I meet new people, I like to like test the waters.
Yep.
So I'll say some very cringe things, or I'll say very flirtatious
did.
things just to see how much I can get away with. And then Dave was just like, he laughed about it. I was like, all right, this guy's for me. This guy's for me. I like it.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I remember that because we had actually a short vodka stream, which is rare. It wasn't a 4-hour plus vodka stream. So then like Matt was still, doing his thing. And I was like, all right. And he invited me and I said, fine. And it was everybody didn't have their cameras on. So I'm like, I'm not going to turn my camera on. And I was pretty, pretty lit up. And I was just kind of like, it was just kind of funny because, I remember when that all happened. And then, you did kind of do all that. And I was just like, oh, this is fun. It's whatever. I don't give a shit, like, It's like, you said like stuff that like people are I think even Matt and some of the people are like, oh yeah, she's going to stalk your Twitter now. And I'm like, let her, whatever.
Oh, I did say that. I said I was going to stalk you. I did say that.
It's engagement.
Yeah.
But here's here's the thing though. Is it stalking when I follow you on Twitter, but you follow the stalker back? Is that stalking at that point?
No, that's an acquaintance. That's
Yes.
Oh,
There he
Casey's
is.
back. Casey's back.
Well, I
Look at
stalked
Ezra.
Casey. No, you didn't, Casey. That was.
Oh man.
I just want to say this too. So going to Ezra, now that you brought it up, Ezra looked really nice in the court. Ezra looked really nice in court. Hair was all nice. Like the hair is getting long though. Ezra needs to cut that hair.
Ezra likes that hair like that though.
Yeah, but Ezra, I'd like to see Ezra's
That's
face.
the Credence
Ezra's-
hair.
Yeah, but Ezra has nice. No, it's not the Credence hair. Credence hair is like.
Better. He looks.
that-
It looks better with shorter hair. I will say that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ezra, because you can see Ezra's
Yes.
facial features more with the hair. Like I
He's
get
got a
the
good
hair. long.
jawline. Got a good jawline.
Oh my god, killer jawline.
It's funny because the first time I saw Ezra was in Californication. I don't know if any of you guys watched that series with.
I know.
David
I've seen a
Duchovny?
couple. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was season 3.
Hmm.
He showed up in that and he dated David Duchovny's daughter for a brief moment. He was in like probably 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah, that was the first time, and he was very, Ezra was like very young.
Yeah.
Obviously.
First time I saw
But-
him was in the Get the Gonzo.
I think it was Perks of Being a Wallflower for me. That was
Oh
the
yeah.
first one.
Same.
Exactly.
Mine was the
Same.
Flash, and then Zack Snyder's Justice.
We haven't seen it yet. Oh.
No, Zack Snyder's Justice League as
yeah,
the
yeah,
Flash.
yeah.
I do think it's funny that Ezra has such a good jawline, and then Zach's the costume that they used in Zach's movie like accentuated
Oh, and the new
it.
one they hide
And
it.
then the new one they're like, don't look at the jawline. Like,
Do you
we're
know
gonna
what
have
my favorite scene? One of my favorite scenes in Zack Snyder's Justice League, though, was that scene with Ezra as the Flash when Ezra was like, "Okay, Barry, don't screw this up." That whole scene, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but that was such a powerful scene.
Because
Like
it was
just
in slow mo.
Yeah, but not even it wasn't even just that. That whole scene, that build up where Barry Allen's sitting there knowing, like, okay, I know what I need to do, but I have to break the rules. Sometimes you gotta break the rules. That whole scene, that whole thing, oh, it was so beautiful. It was beautifully shot too. Like, oh my lord, I got chills seeing that scene.
Well, we got to remember too, and I keep on emphasizing this, and I will continue to emphasize this all the way to June, is the fact that when it came to the special effects and all the great flash shots that we saw in Zack Snyder's Justice League, same guys are working on those VFX for the Flash.
Yeah.
Brian Hirota, DJ, come on,
Those
I
visuals were
did a
beautiful.
stream, had those guys on there. And those are Zach's guys.
Yeah.
They both, and one of the things that I always talk about too, when people are like, fuck the Flash or call it the Flush or something like that, I'm like, when it came to those guys, they were done doing these movies because of all the bullshit that they had to deal with when it came to Justice League, especially. I mean, imagine trying to do like this crazy Justice League movie and then all of a sudden it just gets ripped to shreds like it did. And then luckily they got it back and they were able to just be like, this is what we wanted to do. And it was amazing. Those guys didn't want to do, who would want to do a superhero movie after that? Nobody. But then when they got the script for the Flash, they went, oh man, there's something special about the script. That's what I've always just kind of like always held on to. Like, man, there's something about this script and this story that the
Zach,
Muschietti,
people that are so anti-Flash that are hardcore Zach fans, it's like you got to remember Zach's entire plan for the Flash in if he had continued with the Snyderverse stuff was that he wanted someone else to take the reign. He
for all the characters.
Yeah, he was like, I'm setting this stuff up for other people to tell stories. He wanted other people to take it, and that's why he even did the costumes the way he did. Yeah. And he was like, I'm gonna let like the people that make these movies do what they want, go in the direction they want to go. And that was his whole thing. It's the same thing that he feels about like fan films. He loves that stuff. Yeah. It's like, dude, tell a story. Like adapt something, tell a story. And he describes the Snyderverse as a comic run. Yeah. He's like, it's like I took these characters for a little while and I told this story told out over a certain number of movies. And it's like when you pick up a comic and it's a limited release and it has issues that connect, and then it tells a story, and then some other artist and a storyteller picks it up, takes it to wherever they want to go. It's the same with comics, and it's like, dude, I really question whether some of these people have even read the source material.
They haven't.
They've seen the CW.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, the whole point of comic books and superheroes is reinvention. Yeah, that is integral to the comics, is reinvention.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous. Seeing the anti-Flash people being so, boycott Flash and being so angry about how this movie is erasing the Snyderverse and all that, and now at this point, it's literally the only movie that will have the most Snyderverse characters that will have their send-off or whatever in this movie. And now they're like, okay, what do we do now?
I know it is crazy because it's like, all right, so when it comes to Snyderverse characters, guess what? Out of the 4 movies that are coming out this year, this one's going to have a lot. It's going to have Batfleck for a good amount of time, not just a cameo. It's going to have Wonder Woman in it. It's going to have Cavill Superman in it somewhere.
You're telling me these people aren't going to go see this movie? Like, you're telling me that they're just not gonna go see?
No, they're gonna proclaim that they're gonna download it illegally online.
They're gonna go see.
It's always a weird thing to me. I'm like, man, it is kind of weird. I almost wish that there would be people they would get flagged for that, because it's like publicly admitting that they're going to steal a movie. It's like
it's like do whatever you want to do in your own personal
Sure,
space.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
But the fact that they have
don't promote it.
it's like, wow, you're so cool. You have downloading software that you're gonna go click, click, click. Wow, you're such a badass.
Yeah, wow.
That's why you're getting much larger as you're sitting in your chair. Because you don't
But
do
what-
anything. You don't go outside.
What are
Sorry.
they
get
going to
good internet in
accomplish
the
with that,
basement.
though?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
What are they going to accomplish by doing all that, though? Like, they didn't want Black Adam to succeed. Henry Cavill wasn't that. They didn't want the Flash to succeed now.
Well, that's another thing that I was like, when I was, when the discourse, when my last Saturday when I saw that sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix was trending, and I posted my tweet and posted that GIF, and then all of a sudden it reached that side. I went like, well, wait a minute, what are we thinking about here? And I've even talked about it. I'm like, okay, so some of these guys have already turned against Cavill. So if they want this to happen, do they want Cavill to come back? And then they turned on Miller too because of all the stuff that's happening. They're going, just get a new Barry. And then when the whole rumor came out that Keaton was going to be the DCU Batman, they were going recast Batfleck. Why don't they just recast Batfleck if he doesn't want to do it anymore? So I'm like, okay, so who do you want to come back?
Yeah,
like half the group is like gone in your guys' eyes.
At
like,
this point,
so
it's going to be a completely different cast of people.
Almost is like,
yeah.
Like, okay,
I think it will.
Happens,
I think it will be a completely like it won't have the baggage.
Fisher is also not coming back.
Yeah, it won't have the baggage.
It
It won't have any of that. And that's what, like these next 4 movies that come out. Shazam, no, they're not doing any promotion for it.
God.
Flash, they are doing promotion. Aquaman 2 is going to happen after the Flash, and the Flash is supposed to reset the universe. And then after that is Blue Beetle, which is going to be a standalone. It's going to be dope as shit, hopefully. And I absolutely, I'm a huge Blue Beetle fan, and for Zolo
I am
to be
so
doing
rooting for that movie.
It's gonna make me so sad though that if we get this Blue Beetle movie and it's so good and he's great as Blue Beetle,
even if it makes $1 billion, I think they would do like a standalone, kind of like Joker. I think they would just like
if they continue him on its own, that's cool. Yeah,
on its own. I think that's what
I am rooting for that movie so much, man.
That's
but
such a cool
as far as
character,
Aquaman and the Flash, Jason and Ezra and Gal, they're just James wants to have that pat on the back. He wants to, hey, this is my universe. Even though I'm friends with with Zach, I don't want accolades going to him. I want him coming to me.
It would always be called Snyderverse if he just continued with the same cast.
Right. And he doesn't want to be under that thumb.
You've got 2 completely different kinds of people, because James Gunn is like, he was like, maybe if Zach came to me and asked me something about that, and Zach's never going to do that.
Yeah.
Like he is never going to be like, hey, James, nice universe you got, like, want me to direct something? Like, no, Zach's happy where
you did not enter the room on your knees.
Yeah, he's killing it right now.
Yeah.
Now, he's doing his own thing. He's making things that he wants to make, and he has nobody telling him like, oh, you can't do this or you can't do this.
But guys, it's a director-driven studio. Come on.
So I mean,
yeah.
And that's what's happening. It's like both of them are working, and even like when it comes to Gunn, I don't think he's getting a lot of no's either with what he's trying to do. I mean, it's funny too, because like when I talked about on Monday's show, the what?
Maybe he should have.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like what I was talking about on Monday's show when it came to this whole thing, and I'm like, all right, you know what? If you want to tweet the hashtag, go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to, which I've always said that. Anytime there's a campaign I don't agree with, I'll put out there that I don't think this is a good campaign. I'm not going to tweet about it. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But if you want to, go right ahead. I'm not going to. I'm going to just like kind of sit back. And if you hate me for it, fine. I don't give a shit. I've said that before. I've said that before when it came to like that call the WB office campaign that happened, the letter writing campaign. I was like, that's I don't know what that's gonna do anything or whatever the hell. But but other campaigns like the plane when they flew the banner, the billboards, at Comic-Con posting billboards and whatever the hell. cool. I promoted that, and I was like, yeah, I think that was a good idea and everything. This, I'm like, the first thing I thought was like, really, Netflix? They are canceling shows left and right. They have a money problem. I would have went to Amazon. But, this whole thing when it comes to like, oh yeah, sell the Snyderverse, then I was like, well, that's not the IP. The IP is the characters. But I guess they could license out. Yes. Okay, cool.
The problem with the Netflix thing is though, is they're literally like in the process right now of like canceling some stuff. And it's like, guys,
they get it over to Netflix, but Zach's too busy, so they have to give it to somebody else. But it's at Netflix. But they're like, they give it to a different director. I'm like, no.
At this point, Zach could literally come out and be like, I choose this director to direct some more Snyderverse sequels.
He could come out and tap Damon Caro.
And people would be like, I don't care what Zach says. It can only be directed by Zach.
Oh, dude. Like, I mean, that's one of the things is like, it's all about what I want. I've seen that from people who've been on streams who've actually put their voices out there. I've like, I remember like even my tweet that happened last week. I saw, I won't name this particular person, but I was like, even like the people that push back, I look at their Twitter and I'm going, did they promote Project Justice League? Oh wait, no, they didn't. No. They didn't promote that. No. And then I look and I go like, okay, look at how they're tweeting. They're always like talking about what they want. Doesn't care what what does Zach want? What does Henry want? What does Ben want? What does any of these people want that are involved? They don't care. They want what they want. It's a bunch of it's narcissism.
Well, I find it funny. It's so funny to me that like, Zach can come out and like say, like, he'll be like, I like this movie. Like all the people that still hate on the Batman just because it wasn't Ben's Batman and it wasn't directed by Zach or something. And Zach's like, dude, I love Matt Reeves. That movie looks rad. Yeah. I'm excited for it. But then they won't believe Zach when he literally says something. But then he can like something on Vero, and they're like, this means that he endorses it.
Yeah. Like people like they like interpretation, but that what suits their narrative and what suits their own paradigm. So, it's just the same thing with like Zack Snyder's the only one that can direct Man of Steel 2. Zack Snyder's the only one that can direct the Batfleck because because Ben Affleck would have drank himself silly or whatever. So then give the reins to Zack and just have Ben act it out or whatever for them. It'll be it's just it's I'm sorry, but it's like they have the flaps like the horses and they can only see the tunnel vision and that's it. They can't see the world that's around them.
Well, it started,
one of the biggest.
Go ahead, Casey.
One of the biggest problems with the sequel was always, even at WB, was the budget. Having that size of a movie plus having all those actors, that would be extremely costly. And even for Netflix or maybe Amazon, but I don't think they would be that interested in a one-off project like that. Maybe if they were pitched like how Warner Media were pitched, with 2 movies and spin-offs and animation and all that, maybe they would get into that. But
it had the most
having just a one
with Warner Media.
But what's also crazy too is like there's some people that were against the whole animation or even graphic novel idea.
They were afraid that they would miss out on live action
but some of these people are for it. Some of them are still holding their ground, but there's some people that are for it. And I'm like, God damn, should I just bust out the line? I'm like, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. I remember when I one of the things I got dogpiled on big time when a tweet was like, when somebody was doing like, hey, what's your most controversial take about so-and-so? Somebody was doing that and they actually did like, what's your most controversial take about the Snyderverse? And I said, and I quote tweeted and I said, I would be okay if it was completed in graphic novel form. And wow, did that piss off those guys. Yeah. And then it was funny because literally on the vodka stream, Zack Snyder himself said he pitched that idea.
Yeah, same with the parts thing. People were upset about anybody suggesting like, it would have been cool to have it as a series, and they were like, no, that would have been crap. It had to be the movie.
Yeah,
it would have had a lot more legs.
Yeah, it can't be a series.
Yeah.
And then Zach himself was like, I pitched it as a series.
Well, no, he showed you the animated like intro.
Yeah.
He
was like, it was going to be a series, and then we ended up going with a film. And it was like,
I mean, I like the film, but I think if he had split it up into a series, then there would have been more like it would have been more buzz, like on streams like this. It would have been like watch parties. It would have had a little bit longer legs because of the life of it would have exceeded just a 4-hour sit down.
Well, when
And
you
by
watch
the
it-
way,
when
if
watch
you
the
even
forward parts, they end like cliffhangers almost.
Yeah.
Like every part
Mhm.
ends like a cliffhanger because he knew exactly how to construct it just like that, and it was perfect. Sorry, Casey, go ahead.
And if you had the series as well, like after the series was ended, either officially or someone would have put it into together into a movie anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, just like
You
the
would've had
Back to the
both.
Future
You
trilogy,
would've had
they you can edit that into one long linear film.
That was funny too. Yeah, because it's funny too because I got dogpiled on that because I was told that from a very, 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 very reliable source, and about the whole like, oh yeah, somebody, it was told this was before like, oh yeah, he pitched it as a series because it's very long and they pitched it, so then maybe that would actually get it released. And then I put out a poll. I was like, how would you feel if it was released all in one chunk or episodic or whatever the hell? And of course, the same fucking loud side of the fandom was like, nope. And then all of a sudden, again, you're wrong. I mean, it's just how many times are you guys go against what Zach actually wants?
because they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah,
what
they
Zack
don't.
Snyder wants.
They can only see this far ahead.
Yeah,
and not be on the fence.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm actually surprised Saggy's been very quiet during this. Saggy?
I've been taking everything in and do not make a pun. Do not make a pun. No, I'm just listening. I like to sometimes just listen, vibe, listen to the great conversations that are had. And
Okay.
I mean, what would you like me to say?
I know. I was just wondering because I know you've had, your
I'm gonna bring my drama into it, and I'm just kidding.
yeah. No, you've had your back and forth when it comes to all that. So yeah,
The Snyder people, the Snyder people.
She understands toxicity.
It just
That's an understatement. No, the first time I really noticed the toxicity, I think Dave might have known the story, but like I was ticking them off on Twitter, and the same names that were on Twitter came to my channel when I was talking about it. Because I used to do this thing before I was monetized. I monetized my haters. So anytime there was the crap talking on Twitter or somebody to poke fun at, I just put up a live stream and just take it there and be like, thanks for the content. And apparently these are people who knew who I was, or at least knew I did YouTube. So they came to my channel, and as I was calling them out and sharing the screen, they came to my chat and they started calling me racial slurs and told me to off myself. And I'm like, mind you, this is all over Zack Snyder, the person who you guys do the suicide prevention stuff for, and you're telling somebody who you disagree with to off themselves.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about hypocrisy. And that's when I really realized, like, I mean, when people say it's the minority, it's like it's hard to really drown out like the noise, even if it is the minority. Unfortunately, the minority has the loudest voices.
Well, negativity also gains a lot more ground than positivity.
Sadly.
Right. And that's the thing that people don't understand, is that like we're not saying it's the majority, but the minority are making it look bad for everyone else, because you go on the moment that James Gunn was announced, everyone was like, "Oh my God, James Gunn knows Zach. It's okay, guys. There's a chance."
They were saying that. I remember them saying that, and I was like, "Guys,
yep,
no."
And then the moment James Gunn said we're not having Henry come back, decapitated pictures of James.
I didn't
Gunn.
even get 24 hours of like rejoicing because of Henry Cavill's return. They didn't even give me 24 hours. They just the very next day they were like, Gunn and Saffron. I was like, fuck. I knew that was it.
But
I was also hesitant too. I was like, wow, that's interesting. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna go well.
I mean,
and then when he put out the second statement, I was like,
well, the thing with the really loud side of the fandom is there's no like self-awareness. Because the same with like what you were saying is like they were calling you names and they were telling you.
Well, yeah, when you're too busy finger pointing, you can't look at yourself.
Well, and then like this just came up in a tweet that I put out the other day where it was like people were quote tweeting my Batman posts with like I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Like they have these pre-made like things with a bunch.
They sent you a DMCA?
No. they have a whole bunch of these things where they copy and paste the same statement in every tweet. It's like fire James Gunn, bring back Zack Snyder, and then like 8 hashtags.
Oh,
And their
there's a bunch
entire
of hashtags.
Twitter is
Yeah.
nothing but copy and paste hash. Like it's the same thing.
Aaron,
And yeah,
like literally, you're spot on because Dave will tell you I literally spent hours. I mean hours when that hashtag was trending. I was like, I'm gonna just block any account on Twitter using the hashtag. Because you know what I discovered? Mind you, I got 2,000 accounts I blocked, and half of I blocked a lot of Zack Snyder fans because of the hashtag. But when I did it this time, I paid attention to the accounts that I was blocking, and a fair amount of them were accounts recently made. And all copy and paste. Yeah, a lot of the accounts were pretty much bots.
And
basically.
I told him, I told this one guy, I said he was like copy and paste, and I was like, dude, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're not helping the whole like bots thing. I was like, because when executives come on, you know, they're looking at Twitter things, and people that are social media people are looking at this, they're seeing all these Snyder fans like copy and paste constantly the same thing, and that just, I'm like, dude, you're literally reinforcing the bot statement. I know everybody likes to joke about it, but like they're seeing that and they go, this looks like a bot. This looks like somebody that doesn't have an actual opinion of their own, and they're just copy and pasting whatever they're hearing into the ethos. And I'm like, dude, have an opinion. I don't care if you don't want like James Gunn to be there and you want Zack to come back. Just say in your own words what you want to say. Don't just use the template.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you have Mark Hughes, he posted his Forbes article.
Yeah.
I'll probably talk about a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, Mark Hughes, I've always been in, partial. He's blocked me. He blocked me a while ago. Yeah. Me and him had like words.
Yeah.
It was about a whole different thing. It had nothing to do with Snyderverse. It was just one of those things where it's like,
Politics.
Wait a minute. It had something to do with celebrity leaked nudes, and I'm like, wait, is it the same as a guy or is it a girl? And he did not like the fact that I asked that question. I'm like, wait, so it's okay for a guy's nudes to
how dare you talk about equality with me?
I know. That's what I did. That's what I did because it was one of those things.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Come on now.
I was like, wait a minute. So the guy's dong gets leaked on the internet's fine, but not that. Okay. And then it was like one of the, he blocked me because if you look how he is politically, I'm like, whoa, yeah, you are very strong on one very specific side. I'm not very strong on either side. I'm just kind of in the middle. Anyways, but I, of course, got his article sent to me like fucking crazy. And I'm like, but then it's funny because I've also gotten his response to the feedback to that article. And apparently it's not going well. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't think that there was like going to be people that were going to use your article as a weapon to that. So he's like going, guys,
well, firstly,
do not spam James Gunn or anything like that. I'm like, what'd you think was going to happen, dude? What'd you think was going to happen? I mean, like you brought up, okay, I'll say that you brought up some good points in your thing. I didn't agree with all the article, and I'll go over it on Monday on Film Junkie Live, most likely. But it was like, what did you expect was going to happen? And then all of a sudden he's like, whoa, wait, guys, wait, no, don't do this, don't do that. It's like, dude, what do you think was going to happen with that article? What'd you think?
The thing is, he's not anti-Snyder or anti-Snyderverse fans either, but
And he's not
he knows that there are, and he knows that a lot of Snyder fans act like that because previously in 2020 he wrote that article about expanding the Snyderverse into animation and stuff. I guess he was in the know of some things and he just wanted to write about it. And even Jay Oliver was supporting that and trying to see how the audience reacts. And everyone at that time was like, no, we don't want animation. We don't want any spin-offs. We just want Justice League 2 and 3, right? Yeah. And at that time, he got a huge backlash and he should have learned, right? But again, he writes this article in favor of one of the sillier movements. And of course, he's getting backlash. Like, even to entertain the idea, like, forget the article itself. We know 99% of people just go by the headline.
Yeah.
And that's all they did.
Yeah. saw
Well, a
that.
lot of them took his article as like, oh, hey, look, we got highlighted. We must be doing something right.
Yeah.
And all that does is feed the the engine
Yep.
for those types of people. That's why I'm like, I'm not like you can anything that I put out there, you can respond to it. But if you put like any of those hashtags, I'm not down with it. So I'm just like, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. But
yeah, I know there's going to be a campaign on 214 for this hashtag. And I'm like, all right, go for it. If you want to fucking do it, fine. I'm not going to partake. And I'm going to be like, whatever,
Right.
don't, and that's just
Well, you're
me.
not a
They
real
always
fan.
pick the worst days too.
You're not a real
Yeah.
fan.
Have you
I'm
noticed
not
they
a-
always pick
The
days
worst.
when they literally like the past 2 Twitter campaigns have been on days where there was going to be a lot of Twitter interaction for something else, and I'm like, who's planning this?
Well,
it's a lot of
I know-
nerds that don't have anything going on.
Walter Amato.
I mean, exactly right. And a lot of it, like, so there's certain things I know are planned calculatedly. Like a certain hashtag for a certain Suicide Squad cut was definitely a calculated plan. I think that I do think David Ayer was definitely in on that one, but that's different, right?
Yeah, that's different when they do that. Yeah, I know.
Right,
what you're
it's different.
about.
Right, it's different when the industry wants to like do something like that. Like, I'm not mad at that, but the thing is with the fans, right? Like, the reason why, speculating here, by the way, that the Zack Snyder Justice League hashtag stuff like got them to do something is, number one, people forget that was a special like incident, right? You had a director who was in the process of making a movie, had some tragic thing happen, had to step away, then had Joss Whedon, for some god awful reason, come and finish the movie. Then people were like, hey, Zack should finish his movie. And after, Zack finished, grieving and was like, all right, I want to do this, that made sense. That was a special a certain circumstances that happened that was unforeseen. And I think when the fans were like, hey, just let him finish his movie, at least give him that, considering what happened to him, at least give him that. And they did, right? But now what you see is like, oh, wow, we got something. We got what we want, guys. Let's get some more.
You have people asking for the Schumacher cut, for the Webb cut, for all these different cuts.
I was asking for the Schumacher cut.
I can't believe you did that. No, but what it is that same old thing from the 1960s when people used to picket, and they used to be a part of a movement or whatever, and then it just kind of never stopped and always kind of ends up on like college campuses and stuff. And so every generation, they all want to be every year. The newbies want to they want to be a part of something, and they saw that the Snyder Cut movement did something, accomplished something, and was a part of something. Yes, Saggy's right. There were special circumstances in which that was allowed or that was created, and it was stuff that was sort of out of everyone's control. With pandemic, they were like, okay, the people are on lockdown, they can't do anything, so we have this thing here, and we can finish it, and we can appease fans, look good, and everybody's going to be happy when it's done, and everybody's going to love us. We can't lose, and so so they did that, and then it's just sort of like, okay, now that you've given us that, give us this, and it's sort of an insatiable kind of thing, and they just didn't want to kind of deal with it. Well, they started putting up ancillary shit like the Birds of Prey and like shit that didn't matter, and gave us another Suicide Squad movie for some reason. And I mean, it was just like, we can give you all this extra crap, but we're not going to give you a Superman movie. We're not going to give you a Batman movie. We've already, greenlit the Wonder Woman flop, and that happened. And so, and they canceled the third one because, again, it's the same thing.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. Well, I mean, like what I've always said too is like the further we get away from the releasing the Snyder Cut, the crazier some of these people are going to get. I've always said that. And I'm like, yeah, because it got to like, wow, we achieved this. And a lot of us, majority of us were like, huge W. Look what we did, guys. Yeah. I literally have it, like standing right up there. I have Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy. That's 9.5 hours of Superman, Batman, all this shit that I could watch right now. I'm okay with just being like, I have that right there. If there's going to be more, fantastic. If not, I'm okay with this victory.
But Dave,
that
that
we have.
requires you to be a rational human being, though. Like,
Yes,
you
right.
can't.
But
That's unacceptable.
when it comes to now, I mean, even when it came to restore the Snyderverse, I'm like, yeah, that would be great. But at the same time, that is not the same beast as a.
We got to keep fighting for it, guys. Come on. We got to keep going. We're on the fourth down.
Football. You got the football.
Well, then, and you have to
dude.
think about like the last thing. My last point on it is like you have to think about like you have to ask the people that are doing this like, okay, well, when is because they say, okay, we just want Zach to finish what he was planning and then we'll shut up. That's not what would happen. If they let Zach do it,
yeah,
they would never accept a new person.
Yeah.
That is what James Gunn was, I mean, we could say smart about doing that. He just wanted to cut that right off. Like, no more of this shit, because no matter what we do, you're gonna bitch about it. Because they have like the Snyderverse characters in these movies, the upcoming movies, and they're not supporting them, right? So what would make James Gunn's movies with Cavill and Batfleck and all that get their attention? It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they cut off Henry last year, because they wanted all of the negativity kind of out of people's system. Like, get over it. That's why he wanted, like, it gives people enough time to start doing fan manipulations of who they want to see as Superman, and it works. And I posted that last year when they did it. I was like, this is his plan, guys. This is what's up. And
he wants to start the new year fresh.
And he wants people to not. He doesn't want a whole lot of negativity when he releases his slate.
Yeah. He doesn't. He wants to put a bow on some of the, from what I gathered too, like, and I've said it before, I'm like, from what I heard, it's like Gunn did contact Snyder and was like, hey, because they are acquaintances, they've worked together before. I'm sure there was like a nice little phone call. They probably talked about filmmaking and what they're working on and what the hell and all this stuff. They probably did all kind, if that's true. I mean, again, this is just something that I overheard but it doesn't shock me that Gunn would contact Zach and be like, hey, look what's happening, talk about some things. And Zach's probably going like, hey, I'm building this whole thing over here. You do your thing. I'm doing my thing. If something happens in the future, maybe something can happen in the future. And I'm not ruling out anything happen in the future. The fact that James Gunn posted those Kingdom Come images, I'm kind of going like, man, I mean, they probably looked in like, when like, okay, how can DC achieve some of the stuff that's happened with Marvel when it comes to bringing back characters? Look what happened when it came to Days of Future Past. You had a mashing of old and new characters, of the same characters that they did something. You had No Way Home. You brought back old characters into this unit. It's like they could do something like that too. And maybe that was discussed when it came to Cavill or something like that, where something like a Crisis event or a Kingdom Come event could happen. I mean, obviously we have Michael Keaton coming back. I mean, yeah, that was the old regime, but
it's a different crisis.
Yeah, I know, right? Totally different crisis, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of things up in the air. It's crazy, but Aaron, I know you got to hop off.
Yeah,
you're on way longer than you said you were going to be, which is
I get caught up in it, dude.
Oh, dude, I mean,
I have so much fun talking.
I could be on for an hour.
Yeah,
and now we're like 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah. Dude, I get to talking and like I get to
listen.
listen.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
man. But we're all looking forward to your motion comic, man.
Yeah, man.
Anything
I appreciate you.
I'm gonna plug anything that you post, obviously, and
appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, dude. And I'm excited to talk more about it when I can and when I have more information and stuff like that. And when I have some more people on board that I can officially announce and things like that. And but I'm just gonna shoot for that 2023 and see what happens. So,
dude, that's all you gotta do. You know what? We won't hold you accountable. But on New Year's Eve, I'm gonna freaking text you and be like, what the hell, man?
Where the hell is Night of the Bat?
Release Night of the Bat.
Release the Batman. Yeah.
God damn, Salma Hayek still looking good. Sorry. Ben posted a video of Salma Hayek at the Golden Globes.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like,
her
damn.
globes are golden. Yes.
Oh my gosh, she's still, man, ageless. Oh Lord have mercy. I wish I could be that lucky.
If anything, she's a fine wine. Anyways, but Aaron, go ahead and take off.
I'll take it easy, guys.
Nice
Thank
to
you for
talk
having me
to you.
on. Nice to nice actually being on a stream with you. That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I look forward to your motion comic. I like the motion comics.
The motion comics great, man.
See you, Ryan. See you, KC.
Hey,
see you,
man,
Dave.
later.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See ya. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll probably wrap this up pretty soon too, because I know it's getting late for you guys, except for KC. It's like daytime for him.
Yeah.
But
KC's day's just starting.
Waking up time, yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. But but I mean, that's one of the things is like, what you guys did with Project Justice, and I brought that up too. Is like a lot of the people that it's kind of funny, Ryan, like. When the people that were pushed back against, like when I kind of like made fun of the concept of the whole Netflix thing, I would look at the people that pushed back, and I would look and go back to December 25th. They didn't promote Project Justice League, and then even some of them mocked it. And I'm like, wait, so you're giving me shit for mocking this? And I was like, yeah, it was not even like a hard mock. It was like a GIF and just a statement of like, really, that's in the trending page right now, huh? And then I put a GIF of just kind of going, okay, Jeff Goldblum from I know, but apparently that was like, God forbid I did something like that.
It's like,
but I mean, but the fact of the matter is like I saw people saying you guys don't deserve. Yeah, even at Aaron, they were like, you don't deserve to do anything, But then at the same time, it's like, wait, Zack Snyder totally promoted totally endorsed this. He was like,
he gave us thumbs up along the way.
Yes,
and
everything you guys posted, he gave a thumbs up to.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, and we put it out there. Or Andre put it out there. He was just like, yeah, look, he's endorsed this. He likes this. He didn't. I think it'd be a little bit, I don't know, controversial if he actually talked about the film. I don't know about that, but just liking it was good enough for us. And and that's kind of what you want. You want that sort of like, like at least he knew about it.
Yes,
that's great. And but that wasn't why we made it. We made it strictly because of the fans and because of what AT&T did, taking it out. We were on our way to 4 hours from now or from here. We were on our way to Dallas. And they canceled that shit, and I was like, are you kidding me? And that was such a disappointment. Or like, well, what can we do? And so it was just a good idea. It was interesting. Sort of, it happened right here at the end of the last year when Gunn is canceling that universe. Well, here you are, for a lot of people who did not get to see the exhibit, who did not know about the storyboards or had not read the storyboards, because who reads these days? And we're like, hey, we're going to give you a visual, and not only a visual, we're going to give you audio from some of the people that were actually in the film.
Yeah.
And we're, I'm not looking for like praise from everyone, but I'm just like, it was free. You paid nothing to see it. And hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you like it. And hopefully it's like, okay, well,
so many people did.
Yeah, we're glad for it.
When it came to my review, and I remember, Andre hit me up, was like, hey, I'm going to send you early so then you can review it. And I was like, okay. And then one of the things that I really wanted to show in my review, and that's why I cut to it, I went back to it. When I had Zach come on to surprise Ray Porter that one time, he meant, when this was after the storyboards got released, he mentioned that, hey, like, they're not spoilery because that's not exactly what would have happened in the sequel. Right. But, so don't look at them yet, but then watch the movie, then look at them, because that might be and he laughs about it because he knows that those fucking assholes at Warner Brothers weren't going to like be like, yeah, let's do more, because he
still hasn't received a call, even with his good friend James Gunn at the helm.
Yeah,
No
but
call.
but at the same time, it's like he had to even fight to just keep the ending open, like as he did. From what he told me, he goes, yeah, they wanted me to not have the dark side ending, and they wanted to wrap it up in a little bow and just end it. No, he wanted to keep it. He's like, nope, this is my movie. I'm going to keep it the way it is.
I think it had to have it because
he
of
said that on the
BVS.
Vodka stream, so that's why I wanted to cut to that in my review, to be like, that this is the closest thing that we could get to this. So watch it.
And some people either needed to be reminded of that fact, or they'd never heard it. And so, thanks for putting that in there, because it's again another stamp of like, it's okay to watch this stuff. It's okay to see it and know this wasn't exactly how it was going to be, but a lot of it, this is what it was at some point. You know, Jim Lee, Zach, and Jeff Johns, that was their thing. That was their boards. And all we did was just take it for what it was.
Just brought it to life.
Yeah,
you brought it to life. That's what was so cool. And it was funny too, because I was like going, how can we do something with this? I remember Andre was like, yeah, I remember you said you had an idea about doing something. I'm like, I was just going to read it off. Maybe in Casual Batman, it was going to be something stupid, but what you're doing, you do that. I'm not, it was funny because I remember Andre even like hit me up and said that. He's like, what do you plan on doing with that? I'm like, I just was going to narrate something or whatever the heck. I didn't really have an idea, but what you guys did was like, yeah, that's way better than what I thought I was going to do. For sure.
Right.
It started off, it wasn't going to be a lot of visuals.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and that was one of the things that was one of the, I don't want to say complaints, but that was one of the things that, like, even Chris Wong said that, and is that he wanted more visuals, and it was just going to be a read.
Yeah,
that's what we were going to like just color Jim Lee's art, and that's kind of how it started. And then we had heard from certain people that like, you can't do that. You can't put this out there with Jim's art and all that. So we're like, okay, well, it'll just be our art, and and I'll do it in the form of a comic book, and there you have it. So we didn't go like with Aaron. He's going for ultra realistic renders and stuff like that, and his shit's gonna look fucking dope.
Dude, I can't even imagine what he's going to be doing. Like what the stuff that he's, put out there already. I'm like, wow, he's going for like realistic. Like
he's going to turn some heads, man. And there's still going to be those people out there that are just going to be like, oh, you sacrilege, and you're never going to get a Batfleck film. This would be the same thing with Project Justice League. This would be the closest you're going to get.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and that's funny too, because even like there was a clip of Ben Affleck from when he was promoting, what was it? What was that movie?
Gone Girl. No.
It was the basketball movie where he was a coach, which was a really good
way
movie.
back.
The way back. Yeah, when he was like, somebody asked him about that, and he goes, yeah, he wasn't passionate about it anymore because, he was going through some shit when it came to that. And he goes, hey, I don't want to, if I'm not super passionate about it, I'm not going to make it. And I'm like, good for you. Again, it was just a reminder. I almost retweeted it, but I was like, I don't want another fucking dog pile, but it was just like, I was like going, man, I mean, this is a man who's like created some great fucking movies and been in great fucking movies. And he's my favorite Batman, just kind of going like, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Just basically saying he couldn't do it. That's why when I see like, people like always going, make the Batfleck movie. I'm like, hey, did you not hear Ben Affleck? Like what he has said, why he's not making it? You guys don't care about his mental health or his health. You just want your Batfleck movie. It's all about you.
Well, it's just like when he was on that press tour. When he was on that press tour, and I think he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was talking about what was that? It wasn't Gone Girl. It was oh god, it was another film.
Oh, it was The Accountant.
No. It was after The Accountant, and it wasn't Gone Girl.
It was the gangster movie, right? Live by Night.
Live by Night.
Live
That's
by
what it was.
Night.
Yes. And he was like, and everybody keeps asking me about the Batman. Everybody keeps asking me about the Batman, but nobody's asking me about Live by Night.
Yeah.
And so it's like you were just saying, everybody they want their thing.
Yeah.
You know, they like his version of Batman. Fine. You know, and that's awesome. But they only care about that. Live by Night was, you know, something that, you know, I didn't think it was the greatest film. I thought Gone Girl was really good for the first two acts. The third act wasn't as strong as the first two.
You didn't like to see
the accountant was dope.
You didn't like
shit.
to see a schlong.
Triple
Saggy,
Frontier wasn't
come in.
bad.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He did that one, and The
Yeah.
Way Back was a good movie.
His
you
best
know,
one though
what?
is the Tender Bar.
No, I wanted to get a female perspective of like, Ben Affleck schlong and
Saggy, you're up.
Sad he's
Wait,
taking it
what
away.
about what? Casey, crazy. Jeez, Casey After Dark.
No. It was just like one of those.
We're not
because,
talking about Casey Affleck.
I know. No. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Ronnie. Continue,
Oh no,
continue.
you're good.
Yeah.
Well, now
I don't know where I was.
Why would you guys do that to me? I was listening to you guys talk, and then I was like, I'm gonna look at my phone real quick. And then Ben Affleck's dong, and I was like, hello.
Well, it's just because Ryan was saying like, you know, you didn't like fully Gone Girl. You didn't like the ending.
Yeah, I wasn't. I
But
thought
then
the
that's
ending
where
was
I
a
made
little
the
weak,
schlong
but everything
joke.
else was good. I mean, and I just recently watched School of Ties again, and he was, you know, good in that.
I forgot about that movie, man. That's got Matt Damon and Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser's in it. Yeah. So you know, Firefly and
Howard! Sorry. I just remember that shot of him in the rain going,
Matt
Howard!
Damon.
Yeah. Matt Damon.
I'll say this. I'm just happy that Ben Affleck is doing what Ben Affleck likes to do, and he likes to be behind the camera. And I like that James Gunn's allowing him to do that. I think that people who are fans of these actors and directors need to remember that you can be fans of the actors and directors and support what they're currently doing. Because I was going to say earlier when you were going on the rant about, you know, the same people who are using the hashtag were saying, and it's like the same people who are using the hashtag restore the Snyderverse, hashtag Zack Snyder. I'm like, where is this energy for Rebel Moon? Where I don't see none of them pushing Rebel Moon as hard as they're pushing something. He's done Rebel Moon. He's been doing Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon is shot and finished. They're finishing it up. Where is the hype and push in the hashtags for Rebel Moon? Oh, right. It's not about what Zach's doing. You're not a fan of Zach. You just want Zach to do your story because that is the only thing you guys care about, because that's the only thing that gives you guys attention.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like,
It's sad,
where's
and I've said that many times to the people who push back, and I'm like, hey, take this energy, put it towards Rebel Moon. I actually had somebody, and it was funny because somebody actually responded. He's like, what are we supposed to do? There's been nothing. I'm like, what? There's been nothing about Rebel Moon? Are you kidding me? There's been, Zach has posted, what the fuck?
We just had Ray Porter tell
yes,
us stuff about Rebel Moon.
Yes, finally
Right.
Ray Porter admitted that he was in it.
Right, they put pictures out there. They've put teasers. Like, yes, I actually, believe it or not, as the anti-Snyder fan that everyone keeps labeling me as, I actually follow Zach on social media, and I have been paying attention to stuff about Rebel Moon. I even followed the official Rebel Moon friggin' Twitter page.
I think it's gonna be dope. I think it's gonna be possibly better than Dune.
The moment I saw
It has to be.
right,
It probably
the
will
moment-
be.
right, the moment I saw Charlie Hunnam as the cast, boom, you got my money, Zach. You got my money. I love
Really?
Charlie Hunnam. Ever since Sons of Anarchy, I love Charlie Hunnam. As soon as they got Charlie Hunnam, I was in. So yeah, trust me.
Well, you know, Zach likes to, you know, he brings on the sexy. He brings on the sexy. I don't care if it's guy or girl, whatever you want. I mean, he's always
Zach
like,
probably
hey,
saw that King Arthur movie and was like, I need
that's
this
my
guy.
guy.
He's
That's
like,
my guy.
I can't use him as Arrow, but
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Charlie Hunnam, will it be? Yeah.
Right. As soon as I saw Charlie Hunnam was cast in this, I was like, "Oh, Zach, you're killing me. You got Charlie in this? Oh Lord, I can't wait to see it, because I haven't seen Charlie in anything in so long. I think since the King Arthur movie. That
no,
they did.
he was in that one movie with
The Gentleman.
Gentleman.
Yeah, The Gentleman.
Was he in The Gentleman? I didn't.
Yeah,
see that.
yeah. He was in the
Yeah,
that
but
house.
he was was, he was
pouring the
clothed.
drinks.
He was clothed. You better believe that Zach.
He was clothed. Yeah, that's why she
Zach's
doesn't.
gonna
have
have
it.
a shirtless scene with Charlie Hunnam flexing the muscles, as he does with both guys and girls. He goes, "All right, you're gonna bulk up. You're gonna get in ridiculous shape. I'm gonna fucking show you, ridiculous." That's what
His
he does.
male gaze is for
The
male
one
as
thing
well.
I
But
will
it's
say
also but it's a female gaze too that he gives.
right. The one thing I will say,
300?
300. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one thing I say I definitely like about Zach is a lot of his films that I've seen. Definitely see the inspiration. Like, dude, Sucker Punch was just a live action anime. Sucker Punch was on. That's why, even though a lot of people didn't like Sucker Punch, I loved it because I'm an anime fan, and it had so many anime elements in it. And I don't think a lot of people will even notice that because maybe they weren't anime fans, maybe they're just action fans. But I'm like, no, Zach definitely dipped his toe into like an anime style thing,
live action anime.
Right. And also, I heard Rebel Moon. Like when I read, like some of the stuff that was coming out, like a little bit about like the plot, it definitely sounds similar to Sailor Moon. And if that's the case, I am definitely into it because Sailor Moon was one of my first animes I ever watched. And I'm like, if this is a Sailor Moon type story, I might have to say I'm going to really enjoy Rebel Moon. But that's what I'm saying. Where the fuck is the hype for this project, dude? Like, y'all are Zack Snyder fans, but I don't see no hashtags Rebel Moon and nothing. If you at least want to restore the Snyderverse, could you at least include Rebel Moon? I will even accept that. But no Rebel Moon, nowhere. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I know. It frustrates
They need
me
to
too.
drop that trailer as well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully, like that, the first trailer that comes out, that's gonna. I hope it trends and I hope it blows up.
I think
and I
that
hope these guys put
shift.
that energy that they put in all these other hashtags into that. That's all I ask. I'm like, we can have our differences, and whatever, but please put the energy that you put in these other hashtags into Rebel Moon when there's like big time hype, especially that first trailer. Make that shit trend, hundreds of thousands of fucking of tweets or whatever the hell. Please put that energy. Sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
Oh no, I think you're right. I think once a trailer comes out, a lot of that energy is going to be shifted, and because they'll see, oh, well, he's doing something. Because right now they, like Saki was saying, even though images have been released, even though we know that Ray's in it and everybody else, Charlie Hunnam, I mean, and Sophia, and the mummy's in it, and so I mean, even though we know all
that's a hot mummy, I'm just saying
that's a hot mummy. I think the trailer will get people more on board with what Zach is doing and have them sort of give that aha moment of like, oh shit, he's doing something, he's doing this, and this is fire. And I think that's kind of what we're sort of. I think that's going to shift it a lot as far as like just focusing only on Zack Snyder's Justice League, because even though Army of the Darkness came out. That and not Army of the Darkness.
I know. I was like, Bruce Campbell, baby.
Different army, Army of the Dead.
And
even though that came out, and then the prequel also came out with the
Army of
Thieves.
Yeah.
I think that it sort of died down a little bit as far as people thinking that he's doing something.
It did.
And once we get a trailer or even a teaser, I think people will say, "Oh shit, this is
give us a trailer."
Yeah,
well,
this is definitely something to look forward to.
I see you, Carrie, in the chat, and I will say this: I'm not asking y'all or think that Rebel Moon's going to replace Zack Snyder's Justice League stuff. I'm saying
is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying, like, why are you guys wasting your energy on something? I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but why are you going to waste your time on something that is not happening and then put it towards something that is happening? Because, again, the whole thing is you guys are doing this wrong. And when I say this, I'm not saying this to be mean, but, like, when you want the industry to listen to you, they deal with numbers, statistics, and more importantly, the money. And the way you get heard, and I've always said this, you guys want to be heard, you got to hit them where it hurts. Their money, their pockets. Because guess what? All these movie big heads, these CEOs, guess what they have? Bills. And they live very luxurious lifestyles. So if they can't afford to maintain those luxurious lifestyles because y'all ain't going to see their movies, then guess what? They might start listening, be like, hey, we're doing something wrong. The fans aren't showing up anymore. And I've said this for years. That's how you get what you want. You have to hit them where they care the most, which is the money. And then with this thing, when I'm saying push for Rebel Moon, again, hypothetically speaking, like Dave said earlier, anything's possible. Y'all want Netflix to do the whole thing, then you have to show Netflix that Zack Snyder is worth that money. Is worth that phone call to WBD and saying, hey, Zack's making some work, making some money for us over here, and the fans want to see more. Like it's about playing chess, guys. Like it's literally a chess game, and y'all ain't playing it right, and then crying about, oh, well, we ain't getting our stuff. Like because you're not playing.
You just brought up something that I didn't even think about. Okay, so when that first Rebel Moon trailer comes out, or teaser, or whatever the hell it is, all right. If you guys are if they're really serious about Netflix getting the Snyderverse, you better have Rebel Moon trending for a fucking week. Then you better be putting you better show Netflix that you are all about Zack Snyder and you're all about what he's doing. So if that trailer comes out, that shit better be trending for a week.
Right. Okay? That's what I'm saying.
You know, I mean, if you're gonna take this campaign seriously, I mean, obviously, one of the first things I said is like, why not Amazon? They got the money, but hey, Netflix. But if
that's not Amazon.
And here's the thing. Y'all were upset about Henry Cavill, and I will say this again. I get a lot of heat for saying this, but I'm sorry. But let's be realistic. Y'all wanted Henry Cavill to stay? Well, y'all should have showed up for Black Adam, because what was Dwayne The Rock Johnson doing? Pushing Henry Cavill as Superman so that you guys go see Black Adam. And guess what? That 20-second cameo was not enough to get that money up for them to be like, oh, well, The Rock did something. We gave him something to do. He didn't deliver. If the Black Adam movie did really, really good financially, they would have probably been like, it's because Henry Cavill was in this. And we're going to go ahead and do another Man of Steel 2. Again, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. You guys have to understand that's how business works. They put out these movies, they see how much money they make, and if they make a decent amount of money, guess what? Y'all are getting another movie because the sales were there.
Yeah.
And if they release Rebel Moon out in theater, and if they release Rebel Moon out in theaters, and if it's in your local theater, you better go see it. I remember when Army of the Dead got released in the theater right here, right around the corner from my house. Had it. That's the first time I watched Army of the Dead.
We saw it.
I was like, all right, I am 100% seeing this on the big screen. See, that's the thing too, is like, if you're gonna take this whole thing seriously, and like if we can make something happen, we got to really be backing Rebel Moon.
Well, yeah, because Netflix doesn't release movies at the theater.
They don't,
no,
movies they do. And I think Rebel Moon will get a release, but a limited release.
100%.
Glass Onion got a limited release, but so did Army of the Dead. I think Rebel Moon will get a limited release, a week.
It's a Zack Snyder space sci-fi movie. It's definitely.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Those movies got theatrical releases because I feel like they were always supposed to. But remember, we were in a pandemic, so they were doing that thing where they'd release in theaters and then do it on a streaming service. So that was like a thing. So I don't know if they're going to continue that because movie theaters are now open. The pandemic, for the most part, is over with. We're not locked down. So, I mean, again, it could go either way. I think that they still should do theatrical and then release it on streaming services. I think that would be a smart thing to continue to do. But like I said, and I see, again, I do read the chat sometimes too much, but it's just because I'm used to my streams. But no, I see what y'all are saying. Listen, I'm not saying you guys don't have to care about DC. The thing is, what I'm saying is DC has made it clear. WBD has made it clear with the DC franchise, they are moving forward. They are rebooting. They basically, James Gunn literally said that, like, for verbatim, we're rebooting. It's over. We're going in another direction. But the fans are just like holding their butt cheeks on to this whole Snyder stuff. And I'm like, listen, I get it. I would love to see Zack continue his universe too. I think Zack makes amazing movies. I think he did great with the franchise, but it's over now. And I'm sorry it's a hard pill to swallow, but you can still enjoy DC. Like, just like Gunn, do at least one project before we condemn him to hell. before
The
we
Superman one.
That's what I keep on saying. That's what I get when I get the pushback, and people are like, "Oh, you want his pedoverse," and they always say that, or pedoverse, or gunverse. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys didn't even.
That's
try
why
it.
he's getting a younger Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I want to remind you.
Oh,
Casey.
Oh shit,
He's gonna be
KC.
13 years old now.
Oh my God, KC.
But side note on the
Savage,
Superman
savage.
thing. One thing I think that they made a good decision on is that they didn't
I like
recast
making
Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yeah.
Gunn just said that he's using a younger version of Superman. He's not saying that he's recasting Henry Cavill's role. So that character, like you
Yeah.
said, might come back later, and
That's
this is
what I
just
keep
another
saying.
different
The
character.
Yeah,
difference.
it's
Hold on,
interesting.
But the difference is that like okay, for the longest time, Henry was like, the cape's in the closet, cape's in the closet. But he says
Not
now
anymore.
he's not. He's like, my
Yeah, but
my
like
time of
he's
Superman
not
is
gonna
over.
come back now. Maybe in 5 or 8 years, but not now.
Yeah, but he can still keep it in the closet.
True.
It's in the closet.
I mean, they probably took it away from him and would give it back to him,
Yeah.
Casey, as much as I was
or he'll
like,
have the Kingdom Come suit. So
right,
he
but I mean,
doesn't
as
need
much as
that
I'd
cape.
like for Henry to come
That's
back,
the realm of
Maybe.
possibility.
well, no, here's the thing. It kind of is though, because think about it. If they're gonna reboot with another Superman, how long is this actor gonna be Superman? How many movies? And at that point, is Henry
10.
like you said,
No.
but this is what I'm saying. At that point, is Henry even gonna want to come back, or are they gonna want him to come back? Or are they gonna
Exactly.
just
I hope he.
forget?
I hope he gets Bond. Just give us
Casey, how
Bond.
Casey, how many
I
how many
agree with you.
Superman
I
actors
agree
have
with
come
you.
back?
No, he's gonna
The
get. He's
thing
gonna get
is-
his own. He's gonna get his own spy series. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, he was already here. Did that Man from Uncle?
Well, no, I want to ask
That's
Casey.
not
Casey,
really-
That was a
Really?
good movie.
How
It
many
was.
Superman actors that have been in the
But
the
it had
role?
Armie
How many
Hammer
of them
in
have
it.
come back? None of them.
The
have
cannibal.
Come back.
Henry Cavill could be the first one, but I agree that look, I would love for Cavill to come back like a No Way Home style cameo later on, maybe from the Snyderverse timeline or something. I think that's the only way to do it.
I mean,
But I don't
came
think-
back at 70.
What's gonna happen?
I don't think that the new Superman is just a past version of Henry Cavill Superman, because imagine this guy, he's cast as Superman, he's doing a trilogy, and
Gunn would
being
still
Superman.
be under the thumb of Snyder if he cast. a
Yeah,
younger-
he's playing
Yeah.
Superman for like 5-8 years, and then when you have the main Kingdom Come event, you're just gonna replace him with Henry Cavill. That's not gonna
It's
happen.
You know
gonna be.
what?
It's gonna be a
Both.
different suit.
Both.
Yeah.
Look. I'm gonna say it right now. Jonathan Kent and is gonna be alive in this version. It's gonna be just like Smallville. He's gonna be alive in this version.
James Gunn is like, I'm not
You know what?
killing him with a
Screw
heart attack
all of
or a
you.
storm.
Screw all of you Superman fans. I don't want Henry Cavill to come back as Superman. I want him back as the friggin' Witcher. Can we just like? Can you just?
Oh,
They gotta
want
go
him
back to
as
source
Witcher.
material if they're gonna do that.
I know, but I want him back. It's like, oh, this kills my soul. It
He left.
kills
He
my
left
soul.
on principle.
I
He
think
left
yeah.
on bull
You know
crap.
what? A lot of people think that he left because I thought he left for Superman, but apparently he didn't. He just left. He was like,
I mean, I get it, but it's
Yeah.
like regardless of which, like he was the only
You're
reason
gonna get him
that
in
show.
Enola Holmes 3.
I just want
Nola
him back.
Holmes 3. He's gonna be in his own shit. I mean,
I
that's
don't
the thing.
care
It's
about
like,
Nola Holmes 3.
but
He'll
I
have his
I
own
truly
Sherlock
believe
series.
that we will. I don't think this is the end of Henry Cavill Superman. To be honest, I don't
I
think.
hope
I
not.
think
I hope that they do
Depending.
Kingdom Come. You know.
yeah, depending on what happens.
did it with
Superman,
Brandon.
and also the fact that James Gunn did debunk a certain actor that was rumored.
Jacob
What's his name?
Jacob
Jacob
Jingleheimer.
Elordi.
Yeah. See, okay, so we're going to be seeing a lot of this. And I'm just saying that now PR groups and whatever, when it comes to this, they know how to utilize this space now. And we're going to be hearing more about this when we're going to like, oh, yeah, so-and-so is rumored for Superman. It's because that actor wants to play. There's going to be so many young actors that are going to be like going, I want Superman. I think I could be Superman. So their team is going to put out this shit
Yeah.
to all these various how many goddamn, it seems like there's a new one every other day. There's a new Twitter handle, a new website that is going to post rumors. they're going to be posting to that just to campaign for it. This is what happens now. This is what happened with what's his name? Lynn, the guy who was going for the fucking DC. What's his name? It wasn't.
Dan Lin.
Dan Lin. I was like, Justin Lin's the basketball player.
Justin Lin was in Husk.
But I was like, but it was like they utilize, we're like these rumors that spread like crazy to try to campaign to get these jobs now.
Tom Holland.
And apparently
I saw that was an image I saw. I literally saw that. Did you see that picture? Is that what you're talking about?
They put Tom Holland in there.
I think it was Chris Wong. Did Chris Wong Swinton post that? I think he did.
I don't know, but I saw it on my Twitter feed. And I was like,
posted a lot.
I'm like, stop it, stop it. Tom Holland
Chris
doesn't
is
need
a
to be
Superman
everything.
fan.
Yeah, well, so am I. But
I know, but like,
we're all Superman fan, and
Clearly.
as
Oh my
much
God.
as we want Cavill back, it's like we're gonna get a new Superman.
Ryan
But
can be
at the same time-
Superman.
What?
Ryan can be Superman. Look at that chin.
Ryan? This guy?
Ryan can, Ryan.
He's
can be
Green
Superman.
Lantern.
Yeah, I'm Green Lantern. Sorry.
Yeah, I see him more as a Hal Jordan than anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I saw him as Superman.
I think KC could be a better Superman. Look at that chin. Look
No,
at that chin.
Casey.
yeah.
I said that. I said Casey.
I'm
would make a
Nightwing.
Really good Superman. Now,
Yeah, I could see you more as Nightwing. Man.
yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
I mean, you could be. Don't know till you try it. Don't know till you try it, Casey.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just some reporter in Gotham going like, "What's happening, gang?"
You're
Now,
Jimmy
Dave's gonna be
Olsen.
Blue Beetle.
Nah, I'm too old for Blue Beetle.
What do
That's
you think that
racist.
you think that he doesn't age?
Well, he does.
Wait, why is that racist?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm half Mexican. Come on, that's not racist.
Yeah, see, he's
Yeah.
he's half Mexican. He can pull it off.
No, I'd be more of.
I actually hope that movie is cyberpunk as fuck.
Dude, I hope that I really am rooting for that movie. I am so
Yeah.
rooting.
Yeah, I need to see something from that one too, man.
Fuck
I mean,
yeah, dude. Because remember when the set photos came out of the costume?
Yeah.
mhm.
Nobody shit on it. I
Nobody
mean,
shit
there's
on it.
always going to be people that shit on it, but it wasn't the normal like
Right. Right.
shitting on. Everybody was going, "Holy shit! They pulled off a Blue Beetle costume in live action," and that was from a set photo. Imagine what it's
Yeah.
going to look like on the big screen.
Well,
Like,
I hope
whoa.
because it got the same treatment as Batgirl, where it started off to be like a HBO Max
Yeah,
movie, and then they upped it to Warner Brothers Pictures release. So I'm hoping that it was not in production as far along as Batgirl, and that they were able to throw a little bit more money at it, so where it looks fantastic on the screen, on big screen.
Hey Ryan.
So, mhm.
Hey, remember back in the day when we used to be on streams together?
Back in the
And you-
day, yeah.
Yeah.
when
And I
young,
used to
I
make the
kidding.
joke. And I used to make the joke that Blue Beetle was gonna save the DCAU.
Oh,
Yeah, but now it's Blue Beetle's
You're a
closing
prophet.
out the DCU.
Right, but here's the thing. I was
Is it
legit
though?
thinking-
Gunn shared. That's the only movie Gunn shared the poster of.
Well, but that's the thing. I legit was joking about I used to make a joke about the Blue Beetle
Mm.
cult and everything, and it was a meme for a while. I was like, "Oh, they're gonna make a movie, guys. They're gonna make it." And everyone's like, "Shut up, Saggy. No one cares about Blue Beetle. They're never gonna do it." Ha! In your faces. Call me Miss Cleo. Call me now for your free movie reading.
and they got Miguel from
Well,
Cobra Kai.
who
Come
are
on.
you, Miss Cleo?
Yes.
See, and then it was smart for them to get, Jolo Mariduana, Cobra Kai, that hype. I mean, obviously, and when is Cobra Kai supposed to come out again? When's the new season supposed to come out? Because if they time that, I'm sure they probably were like, we got to time this around the time the new season comes out, because that's how you're going to get people.
Blue Beetle is in August.
Wait,
Yeah,
I
it's in
predict that
August.
too.
But when is Cobra
So the
Kai?
Cobra Kai would have to
season-
be in September, right?
No,
it
it's
would-
got to be coming out sooner than that, right? I thought they already filmed.
Is it once a
I'll
year?
Google it. Hold on.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Cobra
but-
Kai would want to.
Wait, what season are they on?
Season
No.
5.
Blue Beetle needs to capitalize on Cobra Kai, not the other way
Oh.
around.
Yeah,
Is it season
Cobra
6
Kai
that
has
they're
its own built-in
Cobra
audience.
Kai is already very much.
I'm sorry,
a
but
big
can we say
success.
Daniel LaRusso's is a fucking dick in every
right,
single fucking
so-
season?
So
He
2
never
days-
learns. He's always a dick.
Right,
Yeah,
so
but
2
then
days-
he always has like a redemption. Like oh, okay. You
right.
know?
So 2
But
days
we
ago,
all love Johnny Lawrence. Come on, Johnny Lawrence is
Johnny
the man.
Lawrence is he's the key to the show, man. Right
Totally.
there. Like
Totally.
he is the funniest one to watch. He's the one I relate
Those-
to.
the creators looked at that fucking that
YouTube video. Yes.
Yeah, the YouTube video that pinned him as the good guy.
Yeah.
And they went, you know what? We have something here. And they capitalized on it and it worked.
It worked.
I don't know how it worked because I remember when YouTube Red was like, hey, we're going to have a Cobra Kai series. And I remember seeing the trailer going, oh, this is going to be awful. And then when I watched it, I went, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Netflix was like,
The only
this is
problem-
amazing. We're going to have to have
The
it.
only problem that I see with it is fucking Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio. He's an executive producer.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but he fucking moves like Mr. Miyagi moved back in, Pat Mayorta.
Yeah.
Back in the 1980s. And I'm like, dude,
Marita.
can't you Marita from Happy Days. And I was like, can't you fucking move better than that? You fucking look so fucking
Yeah,
old
he doesn't
slow.
move well. I mean, obviously, what's his name? Who plays Johnny? He moves a lot better for sure.
He does.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Even fucking.
Well, when you watch the original Karate Kid trilogy, did he really move well younger? He didn't move that well. He was old.
I believed it in the 80s. I believed it.
Yeah.
But fucking,
Okay.
Okay,
What do we got,
even-
Saggy? What do we got, Saggy? When is it
I was
coming
gonna
out?
say, two days ago it was posted that they don't have an official release. but hold on, but what's his face? Oh my god, I can't ever think of his freaking name because he has an Italian name. The Daniel LaRusso's actor.
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, thank you. I always forget the last. So Ralph Macchio did say that he's confident that they will be announcing official release date soon.
I guarantee, dude, it's not going to be far apart. They have to like link it up a little bit because that's marketing, man. That's just the way it is.
Right.
Even though it's Netflix and
It's
Warner
WB,
Brothers.
Dave.
Yeah, but I mean, it's synergy.
It's WB.
Right.
I know, but I'm just saying if they're going to release Blue Beetle in
If it makes sense, they won't do it.
If it makes sense, they won't do it.
I know. They totally missed a fucking. And remember my whole thing about
Elvis and Shazam.
Shazam, Elvis,
Yes.
and Black Adam. I was like, how did you guys not converge on that whole thing? When
Forget Elvis and Shazam. They didn't even
there's
merge Shazam and Black Adam.
The beginning of Elvis as a kid, he's like, yeah, he loved Captain Marvel, which is Shazam, and blah blah blah, and that's why he wears the cape. And I'm like, wow, you guys could have totally linked this whole thing together, but you guys didn't. Yeah.
Damn it, William. Listen, I've worked retail for so long that you consumers are the most entitled people in the universe. And listen, I worked retail and you've worked retail, William. You know consumers are needy little bitches. And sometimes y'all need to be told what to do. Otherwise, you'll just like run around like chickens with your head cut off. Like, I need this. Listen, you need a strong, independent woman to say, William, I love you. I love you to death. But listen, you need to not buy that thing you're gonna buy. Like, listen, Scott's wife still hasn't found out about that big ass statue. Okay,
there always needs to be a woman's voice when it comes to all this, especially consumerism. My God, always needs to be that. Needs to be that, William. Just saying.
Listen, my boyfriend used to do this thing. He used to be on this app, Let Go, and used to buy all kinds of stuff. Like shit we didn't need. Like we had an air hockey table. And I don't know why we had an air hockey table because that bitch sat outside in the rain and got ruined by
Because it's awesome.
And I sat there and I'm like,
it sounds awesome. Yeah.
It does sound awesome if it was inside and we were using it, not outside where it got wet and got ruined. But I asked him, like, what I think what it was like he likes to barter. And I think that's why he did, because he's like, he's like, look,
it was a good deal.
Yeah, he got a good deal on it. But I'm
deal.
like, but it was a good deal. But like, now sat in the rain. So it's like sometimes you need a woman to be like, listen, babe.
It wasn't about air hockey.
It has nothing to do with that.
You don't need an air hockey table. Where are we putting this thing?
That's crazy. No, but I mean, you know what? I think this could be a good place to wrap this stream up. I mean, this has been
Wrap it up.
fun. This has been great.
yeah.
Obviously, yeah, I know. Yeah, Ryan's like, yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, it's,
I gotta go
it's almost
bed.
10
I know.
o'clock.
I'm like, I know. No, Saggy's like an hour ahead of you.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm getting another energy drink.
Hey, you're not in New York, are you?
She's Boston.
Boston. Oh, okay.
Boston.
Because Matt's in New York.
Wait, who? What now? Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, New York. Depending on where in New York, it's like 2-3 hours.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, no, he's coming back later on today.
Oh well, maybe I'll race him there. I might be.
Who are we talking about? You said Matt. What? Jarvis?
My son.
Oh.
She's they used to stream together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worst gaming partner ever, dude.
You have a son?
No, I have it. One of these days I'm gonna show you, Dave. His son. We were playing Apex Legends real quick before we go.
Okay.
And a team was coming. There was a guy behind me, so I was running into the room, and like he shut the door on me and then blocked the door so I could get out. And he thought it was funny. And then the team comes in and just I'm like, open the door, and he opens it. He's like, oh crap! And then I just got shitted on, and I was like, you know what you did, right? Like, you know what you did.
He knows. Oh, he knows. He does that to me all the time.
It's awful. Awful. I'm gonna go get an energy drink while you close out.
Wow, you're drinking an energy drink right now?
I drink them for taste.
Okay, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have to go to sleep sometime, Saggy. Come
They
on.
don't keep me up. I've drinking so much that they don't do anything for me. I
They
just
do
drink them like they're
shit.
soda
They actually
now.
put you to sleep. You're like, I have energy for 10 minutes, and then you crash. No, that happens. It happens. Sometimes that happens with me. You know.
It's an amp energy drink. It's basically like
He's
a
gonna
better
go watch Gone Girl now.
Yes.
I'm gonna go watch all of Casey's content on YouTube.
There you go. There you go.
Oh shit.
But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. This was a lot of fun. Of course, thank you to Aaron Bailey for showing up and talking about his new project, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Batman by Night.
Batman by Night.
Doesn't sound like a
That
porn or
actually is a
anything.
pretty good title, but
Yeah.
I like Night of the Batman. That's
Night
pretty
of the
big deal.
Batman. Yep, that's pretty
Yeah,
dope.
which of course is going to have Scarecrow as the main villain. Of course, there's going to be some other stuff, and it's going to be interesting to see how he does it. And it better be out in 2023, or else we riot. Just saying, like we're going to criticize him for not getting. No, I'm just kidding. It takes time. Obviously, Ryan knows it does take time. It does take time, but I love the fact that this is what it's all about. And what I keep on saying, as much as like, yes, I want more Snyderverse, but this is how you get more Snyderverse. And this is what actually Zack Snyder likes. He likes that his fans take his stories, take his foundation that he created, and are spinning off and doing their own thing. And I really hope there's more and more and more of all this stuff, because I love it. We all love it. Zach loves it. There's no, and anybody who discourages that, stop it, because this is what it's all about. This is what Zach loves, and especially when it's for a good cause, when you're doing this for AFSP, which, like I always say, at the bottom of every stream, every video is a link for AFSP. If you want to donate, it is always there. So, yes, guys, it's going to be great. So thank you to Aaron for joining, and I really appreciate it. But let's go around the horn. Ryan, go ahead and promote yourself.
Oh, yeah. Check out Project Justice League if you haven't done so. Let us know what you think about it, and please donate to AFSP. We've raised over $6,000.
Yeah, it's almost 7. Yeah,
and we're doing really good. And our goal was 5, but we've raised more. And damn it, we need don't ever stop. Don't ever stop, man. It's a great cause. Even if you don't donate, specifically with our project, just go donate yourself. I've been doing it, so it's I fully endorse it, and I stand by it. And check me out on my channel, Zeverfett. Catch me on Twitter, TikTok, whatever. I appreciate it. And it's always fun. It's always fun.
Oh, it's fine. It's whatever.
It's all good.
Nah, man. It's always good talking to you, man. And then we got KC.
Yeah, you can follow me at Krypton Cage, and yes, go ahead and watch Project Justice League. It's awesome. It has Black Adam in it, so the hierarchy has
does.
changed over there. You gotta watch it. And yes, I did like the inclusion of those types of characters in there. I loved it.
It was a natural progression. We thought, we were like,
Mhm.
he's gonna include these guys in the finale.
Yeah. I had no issues with it. Of course, the other people did, but I was like, no, that's great. I'm glad that you guys.
Sasha looked great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're all looking forward to Sasha.
Yeah.
Okay, Aggie, promote yourself.
Hi, I'm Saggy Melons. You can find me at the Saggy Melons
With a Z.
Damn it, Dave.
I know. I'm sorry.
Look at Dave. He's gonna promote me for me. Yeah, I do stuff and things over there. I mostly yell and scream in my microphone and expose YouTubers because drama. Yay! Dave.
Or you can drink her brand of Celsius.
I got a lot of bourbon in me. I'm laughing at everything.
I can tell. It's that time of the night.
I've been streaming for 4 hours, of course.
I don't know how you do it, but it's always fun. It's always fun. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, always.
I'll drink to that.
All right, guys. Make sure you guys smash that like, thumbs up. Do all that. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing this shiza. And like I said, thank you to the panel. Thank you to Aaron. And looking forward to his Night of the, what is it? Night of the Roxbury? Night of the Batman.
Are you guys brothers? No. Yes.
Don't worry about it. But anyways, yeah, looking forward to that. And thank you guys for watching. And we will talk to you later.